Good morning. Welcome into 104.5 The Zone. We're hanging out at Two Rivers Ford in Mount Juliet today. Titans lose 33-19. Vols lose 44-41 in overtime. Vanderbilt getting it done for the state of Tennessee. We got 3 hours to talk about it. We are, like I said, hanging out at Two Rivers Ford today. We hope to see you at Two Rivers Ford today because we are helping them kick off their Fill a Ford food drive happening right now through the end of this month, September 30th. Two Rivers Ford is asking for your help collecting non-perishable food items to benefit Second Harvest Food Bank and the Mount Juliet Help Center as they help to feed those who need it most in our community. Tell you more about that and what's going on here throughout the course of the show. 615-737-1045 is the number if you want to get involved. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and on Twitch is where you can live stream the show if you're hanging out there with us today. Lucas being petulant, not waving hi to the people on YouTube. Shame on you.
Hello.
Where do you want to start? Because we had a big weekend.
Mm-hmm.
We went to Knoxville. Show went to Knoxville. Had a great time until the very end. I had a great time until we saw the replay on Twitter, at least from my vantage point. I don't know if you thought the field goal went in because I did not realize that it did not go in until after the fact. And I looked around, half the crowd stunned, half the crowd still celebrating, thinking it went in, including Joey Aguilar, who thought that the field goal.
Yeah, and it wasn't even that particularly close, but we did not have a good angle on the field goal. I was relying on the fans directly behind it to tell me if it went in or not before seeing the signal, and they all cheered like crazy.
Yep.
And so I started the celebration until I saw the referees giving the signal. So I will say I somehow feel better about Tennessee football this morning than I did on Friday morning, not knowing the result of the game.
Really?
But we've got 3 hours to talk about that and to talk about the Titans' 14-point loss where the second half came to a stuttering halt for the Tennessee Titans.
Week 2 is when I've decided to dust off the sad boy radio hat. So we've got that going on today. You'll hear from Brian Callahan. The press conference scheduled for 12:30 or thereabouts. So we will carry that live for you as well. Yeah, 33-19, the final for the Titans at Nissan Stadium today. They are, Cam Ward gave you a highlight, right? Cam Ward threw his first career touchdown pass. A rookie receiver was on the other end of that. That was Alec Iamaner, and that's not really a play that was accomplished by the coaching staff. That's just a scramble drill type of situation for the Tennessee Titans. And Cam Ward doing his best baby Lamar, baby Mahomes type of situation.
It was
throwing back across his body after running the complete opposite direction. It was beautiful.
It was like every crazy off-schedule Cam Ward play that we saw on all of his tape leading up to the draft times 100. He didn't even do anything like that in college to that degree.
You're not supposed to be able to get away with that at the pro level.
No, you're not. But the thing is, look at us. Look at you starting with the positives. Wow.
Well, because Lucas, I'm sick of doing this show where they lose and we just come out here and complain about it. Like it's Cam Ward and everything else.
Well, the most
Cam Ward is good, the rest of them shameful.
The most impressive thing about that throw was the fact that despite all of that, you could see all of those things happen, and then in the end, it's just a wide receiver making a play over a defensive back. Despite all of that, he still put it only in a place where his guy or no guy could get it. The arm strength to be able to do that is incredible. So, yes, Titans fans have that to hang on to. I will say, it feels like, got to mute your laptop.
Nobody can hear that.
It feels like people are trying to make this like the Broncos game, right?
No, this was not like the Broncos game.
This is not. This was more.
This is how I expected them to lose the Broncos
This is what the Broncos game was expected to be. Just simply being overpowered by a better football team, by a Super Bowl contending football team. That's what most people thought would happen in Denver, which is what made Denver so infuriating, because the Titans were the biggest reason why they lost the game. The Titans had some self-inflicted issues absolutely yesterday.
Nobody sins on a Sunday more than the Titans.
Yes, but the Rams were the reason why the Rams won that game.
Yes, Matt Stafford was excellent. Kyron Williams at the end was excellent. Titans run defense, very much not. Okay, so here's who is off the hook today. Cody Barton, off the hook. Cam Ward, Alec Iamaner,
John Bones Fossil.
John Fossil. Chimere DK.
And Chimere DK.
Chimere DK.
Joey Sly, baby.
Okay.
Oh my
all right. So 6. 6 of them.
Throw Johnny Hecker in there, too.
Okay, fine. He was fine.
Bryce Oliver was good in punt cover. In punt cover.
Hopefully he's okay. He went to the blue
Yes.
tent at some point. We didn't get an injury designation on him after the fact. But, all right, so 6 people I'm not mad at today. Everybody else, I'm just sick of it. There's a clip. What's the name of this show?
The F&M Bank chat is saying you're leaving out L'Jarius Sneed, who had his best performance
good
as a Titan.
Let me say this, all right, because people were on his neck about the Devontae Adams touchdown that he gave up. L'Jarius Sneed was a big reason that they were having success early on in the red zone against the Rams. Now, I'm not saying that is a thing that should wipe away him getting beaten coverage. But NFL corners are going to get beat in coverage from time to time. Like, L'Jarius Sneed, on aggregate, did his job. You know who didn't do their job yesterday? The pass rush.
Yeah.
They had no semblance of pressure on Matt Stafford. I mean, I know there was technically a sack where Amani Hooker was just in the backfield and tapped him on the helmet type of situation, but, like, L'Jarius Sneed did his job yesterday, and as much work as we've seen L'Jarius Sneed get basically as a Titan. So I'm not upset. Your fair point. I'm not upset about L'Jarius Sneed today, but the rest of it. What's the name of this show that I sent you the clip of? With who's this actor?
Oh, that's Tim Robinson. That's I Think You Should Leave. It's his sketch show.
Okay, so there's a
Netflix.
sketch show called I Think You Should Leave by Tim Robinson, and somebody sent me this. Austin Sawyer sent me this yesterday on Twitter, and what he said was, or he tagged us in it. @_Austin Sawyer on Twitter. How it feels watching every Brian Callahan press conference. Jackson, are you prepared to play that clip? Because I think that we should listen to this in its entirety.
Is it clean?
Yes, I made sure. Or Jackson made sure, which means that it's probably not. But Jackson, at your leisure, let's hear this clip that very much sounds like a Brian Callahan press conference.
He beat me, fair and square. He agreed to all my terms, didn't need any tricks, nobody jumping in, overpowered me. Simply a stronger man. He kicked out the back of my legs and I hit my head on the mat pretty hard. Let's just go ahead and say that guy's better than me. Great, I don't have to fight him anymore. But you know who pisses me off? Koski, the Russian. And when I step into the ring with him next week, I'm gonna whoop him. This win's for you, America.
What happened?
Lost. Pretty bad. I think that guy might even be tougher than the first guy. I had to sit out there while Koski torched the American flag. I didn't like that one bit. But I got one thing to say to you, Koski. Don't spit on me. It's just a game. What are you... I'll tell you this. Don't do that to me, ever again.
Did he spit on you?
Yep. Kicked me in the back of the head, torched the American flag, and spit on me.
All right.
Yeah, we get the point. It goes on for 3
Koski.
minutes. But it's basically like doing every Brian Callahan press conference ever. Brian Callahan saying, yeah, I still believe that we can win games. I still believe that we can win games this season. And then they lose. Like, they just lose. Their identity is loser at this point in time. It's outrageous how it's a constant just dribble at the podium after the fact when they can't get anything done. And the thing that they spent the most amount of time focusing on this offseason, these sins, these self-inflicted negatives. They put together this whole offseason program. They're working on teamwork. They're working on leadership. They're working on camaraderie and all the rest. And what they did is they lead the league in penalties.
Yeah, that's...
And these self-inflicted negatives, they have 23 in 2 games. It is outrageous.
It's the most frustrating part of the start of the season, without a doubt. Like, again, the Rams result is simply something that is going to happen this season.
Oh, sure.
It's just going to happen. You don't have enough juice in the pass rush to be able to afford,
That's
not
fine,
being able to
Lucas.
affect a
They
quarterback
don't
like
have the
Matt
horses
Stafford.
up front to get after the quarterback, but they don't have to commit penalties every time they get into these situations. Like, they don't have to lose by double digits. You know what I'm saying?
All right,
they can keep it close.
Pause.
All right, I'm fine.
Quiet down.
Okay.
You're being way too loud.
I'm sorry, we're in a public place.
You're blowing out my eardrums.
How's it feel?
Again, the hypocrisy with this one.
I started with the good stuff.
But yeah, no, that's easily the most frustrating thing about this performance, because there was obviously it was a better performance from Cameron Ward. Like, his performance actually got to make some level of impact on the scoreboard, right? They scored a touchdown, which they didn't do in week 1.
Hey,
they moved the ball well in the second quarter.
They scored a touchdown.
They had momentum, but and what I feel like we're going to keep coming back to this year is as low as the bar is. I understand the bar is low, but what we don't need to keep doing this year is moving goalposts, right? When we knew what the situation was going to be this year against teams like the Rams, and then come in on Monday acting surprised
Lucas,
and shock and awe that it happened.
I'm not
all right.
doing
just
the moving of goalposts.
Putting that out there. No.
You think I'm moving the goalpost by focusing on the one thing that they spent all of their time focused on this offseason?
I think you are enraged and sound surprised that what happened yesterday happened.
I am surprised that the thing that they said that they were going to spend all of their offseason fixing is the thing that's killing them.
Yes, that is by far the biggest point of emphasis in the first 2 weeks.
Insane.
Because as poor as they were last year in penalties, at no point last year, did they have back-to-back games with double-digit penalties.
Ugh.
It didn't happen. They didn't have a single stretch where they had 23 or more penalties in 2 consecutive games. And it's happened to open up the season. In fact, Jackson, can we hear from Brian Callahan on the penalties yesterday in the post-game press conference?
It's something that I'm still trying to figure out. I think we had a couple false starts today. We had just an illegal lineman downfield on the first drive, which is, you just got to come flatter on the screenplay, and just things that are just frustrating. It was very frustrating to be in that spot. It's obviously something that we had a problem with last year. It was a problem before. It's still a problem, and we're trying like hell to get it fixed. And so far, we haven't been successful at doing that.
I mean, at least he's honest. I don't know. He's saying, I don't know why we can't fix it. And, to Peter Skoronski's credit in the locker room, because we're going up to everybody. And Peter Skoronski was fine yesterday. He's not the one committing penalties. But think about the opening drive where it's we understand that you're without J.C. Latham. So John Ojukwu was up against it. And he, committed sins yesterday. By the way, 10 penalties yesterday to go with the 13 that they had in week 1.
62 yards.
But they've got an illegal man downfield and Kevin Zeitler on the first play. They have a false start by John Ojukwu on the second play. The third play's a sack.
Yeah, he had a couple false starts. There are a couple things that immediately get attributed to his first start, playing right tackle, really first time with the ones like that. Clearly the snap count, not on the same page. On one of his false starts, he's 3 yards deep into a stance and nobody else on the line has moved.
I know.
Ball hasn't been snapped. So, that is a reason for some of the penalties. But, yeah, it can't keep happening to that level. They know that, and they seem mystified by it, which is why I'm looking forward to getting Ben Jones in here, Brett Kern, because I'd love to know what the player angle is on that. How do you fix something like that? Whereas I think Skoronski was saying you just stop doing it.
Stop doing it.
But, yes, it's been a mystifying thing through 2 weeks.
That's the first lie you've told on the show today, that you're excited to see Ben Jones.
Ben, I will say, is gracious in victory. He is
Was he? He sent me a video of his children mocking you, barking at you.
He does not gloat in victory.
That was literally a gloat. Or maybe he wasn't gloating directly to you. He was gloating to me. We'll give you some positive amidst all the negative. We're at Two Rivers Ford today. We love hanging out here at Two Rivers Ford in Mount Juliet. We love being in Mount Juliet generally. Two Rivers Ford is asking for your help collecting non-perishable food items to benefit Second Harvest Food Bank and the Mount Juliet Help Center as they help to feed those who need it most in our community. It's real easy. Here's how we do it. Next time you're at the grocery store, pick up a couple extra cans of food, things like canned tuna, chicken, salmon, protein bars, low-sodium soups or chili, dried beans or rice, boxes of cereal, anything that is non-perishable, anything that can be stored and served over the next few months. And then drop it by the dealership in the F-150 that is directly in front of us. It's an F-150 Platinum. It's a beautiful truck. The only thing that's bad about the truck is that Allen Kirby is standing in my view of the truck. And then drop it by the dealership in the F-150 that's right up front here at Two Rivers Ford. You have until the end of the month, September 30th, to do it. It's all a part of Ford Motor Company's Global Caring Month and the world's largest dealership food drive. Awesome work by the great folks at Two Rivers Ford.
Hey, and I listened to this. So I got this approved. I talked to Tammy before we got here. Anybody
Please don't bother Tammy. Tammy's a wonderful person that's invited us out to Two Rivers Ford. Don't harass Tammy.
I'm still talking. I talked to Tammy. Got this approved. Anybody that brings a canned good today, this is a big deal. I got you a free test drive. Anything you want here. Free test drive if you bring a canned good. Tell him Bert sent you.
Yeah.
He's going to put him in your car.
Under your.
yeah, I'll sell that one.
We have to make sure that Bert isn't taking things out of the back of the F-150 by the time that we leave
I
here
brought
today.
things. Where are your canned goods?
I was going to send you to go
Where
get
are
my
your canned goods?
Here in a second.
I support this community.
615-737-1045 is the number. We'll talk more about the Titans and Vols coming up next. Trajan Wealth is here to help you if you are feeling not quite secure about your finances. Ensure that your retirement is the ultimate summer vacation by calling Trajan Wealth today. Because occurrences like inflation, changing economic policies, new laws, and interest rates can affect the financial markets in the short term, but it doesn't make sense to keep changing the way that you invest. Instead, Trajan Wealth will help you review your strategy and make sure that it's right for your goals, your level of risk tolerance, your time horizon. Trajan Wealth will help you decide what to do. So give them a call today. They are local in Brentwood and Franklin. 615-270-5000. That's 615-270-5000. Or visit them online at TrajanWealth.com. Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. This is a paid advertisement. Welcome back to the show, fueled by Hattie B's Hot Chicken, the best hot chicken in the world. We're at Two Rivers Ford today, helping them kick off their Filla Ford food drive. Stop by, say hi. 76 Belinda Parkway. Titans lose, Vols lose. Vandy victorious over a depleted South Carolina team. Lenora Sellers knocked out of that game.
Not a part of the Nashville Blues today, Vandy.
No, good for Vandy, man. Jim Wyatt glowing in the Titans radio booth before, because he has a legit football team that deserves to be ranked higher probably than they are ranked.
Yep.
At this point in time, as we sit here on a Monday, of all the negatives around the football weekend, Vanderbilt getting it done and getting it done on the road, as looking like they belong in the SEC.
Yeah, and I do not.
I know that's a low bar, but
no, it's for Vanderbilt that kind of has been the bar throughout the existence of Vanderbilt. Can you just look like an SEC football team? I do not want to hear anybody talking about the fact that they knocked out Lenora Sellers being the primary reason for winning in Columbia.
They weren't doing much with Sellers in.
No, and that's something that you get to say when it's a close game, right? When it clearly has an impact. When you go up somewhere and you just beat somebody, you know what, off 31-7, you don't get to throw out starting quarterback injury as the main reason for why they went up and did that. So, yeah, Clark Lee and Vanderbilt, I don't know that there's an SEC team with better vibes among its fan base.
Oh, across the board.
In the SEC. The only competing.
Yeah, who's second place there?
A&M has to be up there for the way that they marched down the field, and Marcel Reed coming up in that huge moment, 4th down, scores against Notre Dame on the road, and Georgia fans obviously feeling good today too. But with how high the bar is for Georgia,
Kirby,
Vanderbilt fans got to be feeling the best in the SEC right now.
Yes, we know you had nothing to do with that. I'm talking about the other Kirby. Kirby, nobody can hear you. I know I can hear you. That's that's a little bit of insult to injury, though, at the end of that Vols game. Kirby basically taking a victory lap around Neyland Stadium with his arm around his wife, trotting through the tunnel at the end, doing a pageant wave. I don't know how much of that you saw.
That's what you get to do.
No, I get it, and because that's the frustrating thing. And we'll spend way more time college football wise tomorrow, as is typically the case. Coming off an NFL Sunday, and Pate will likely join us.
Josh Pate allegedly will be in studio tomorrow.
All right, we will confirm that later on. He was on site at Neyland Stadium, taking in the sights, the sounds, and the atmosphere. Excellent atmosphere. Let's talk about where Titans fans are right now, because there is always one game a week. You have 6 days between games to overreact. It is natural for a fan base, for a portion of a fan base, who has a coach who is 3-16 in his 19 games as the head coach, to want that head coach removed. There is not a single benefit that I can come up with to firing a coach 2 weeks into an NFL regular season. That does not make sense. That does not help Cam Ward. The only thing that I care about this entire season, and we will talk about each individual result unto themselves, and we will talk about the season as a whole. But the main thing, no matter what happens this year, is that Cam Ward is supported and protected as much as humanly possible. Now, I know they've gotten him sacked 11 times, and he's gotten himself sacked, in part, 11 times in 2 games. So he's not faultless in all this. He's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but he's the one thing they got going for him, right?
And special teams.
Firing Brian and special teams. Hey, you know what?
It was really good
I know.
yesterday.
I mean,
really was.
I honestly felt bad for Cedric Gray, because, by the letter of the law, it's the right call, but
And they scored a touchdown on that drive anyway, but it's just
it's the principle.
The move from Chim Dike, that last little move, just a little
just
hezzy.
A squirt through him on the sideline.
Man, that was electric stuff from Chim Dike. Even the blocked extra point at the end. Special teams easily the most improved unit from last year to this year.
But they had to be diabolically bad to improve at all. That's the thing.
But they've been legitimately good.
No. I'm not saying that they're not. They are legitimately a plus for a team that has precious few pluses. But Lucas, give me one place where this is an improved football team under Brian Callahan beyond the special teams, because they just happen to luck into This wasn't any great coup that they got John Fossil, right? Dallas didn't know what the hell it was doing with its head coaching situation. All of the assistants under Mike McCarthy had their contract expires. So all of a sudden, John Fossil is available when he should absolutely not have been available. Whatever. He's here now. That's all that matters. But, there is not a single place that they are better as a football team in game under this head coach, which has got the fan base angsty. And I get that, but they can't fire him now.
Well, they have been better in turnover margin in 2 games. That is a factor. They forced 4 in week 1. They forced the 1 yesterday. And the problem is the turnovers they have been very untimely, right? You turned it over once, and it was probably the biggest turning point in the game. You've got the ball down by 4, second half. Okay, they just threw a punch after you had the lead. What are you going to do? Sack fumble that sets up a Rams touchdown. At that point, it was over. But, yes, special teams, generally quarterback play, because that is an area where the bar was incredibly low.
So low.
And turnover margin are the only things that they are tangibly better at through 2 weeks compared to last year, understanding we're talking about a 2-week sample size versus a 17-game sample size from a year ago.
615-737-1045 is how you react to the Titans loss, to the Vols loss, to the Vandy win. If Vandy fans are out there, want to chirp a little bit, today is your day, baby, because they were as impressive as any team that played a football game this weekend. But with that, that's just kind of where I'm at with the Callahan thing. Here's my thing, okay? They are unspeakably bad. They have been unspeakably bad. It's not all his fault. And I have no doubt that this eats at him. I have no doubt that he genuinely is working his ass off to get it fixed. The issue to me is not that he doesn't work hard enough or that he doesn't care enough or that whatever kind of feelings that external forces might assign to this head coach. This is a person who has worked his entire life for this opportunity. He has been a football lifer. His father is a coach. His family has been around football their entire existence. This means a great deal to him. But the fact that they cannot figure it out is inexcusable.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, it's that's what it is. I don't know that. Here's the thing. Would people feel any better today if they had 3 penalties for 25 yards, right, and lost in the same way?
No, not because I don't think, and we don't know this because other things could happen in that generic situation. But, Lucas, the fact that they robbed themselves of even being close in games because of penalties is the thing that stood out about yesterday. That's the way that you expect them to lose just based on talent differential between the two teams, not because they nuke themselves at every turn, and that's the whole thing that they spent all year talking about.
But again, I don't think that's the story from yesterday. Were the penalties an issue yesterday? Of course they were. 3 penalties in the first 6 snaps of the game, and then 7 for the rest of the game. But again, the penalties were among one of the biggest reasons why they lost. It was they did that in Denver. They lost the game. The Broncos did not win the game. The Rams won the football game yesterday. I don't know that this game is dramatically different. It doesn't excuse the penalties because, again, we're going to keep coming back to how much of a point of emphasis that has been. It is mind-boggling at this point. But I don't know that, you cut the penalties in half. I don't know that it makes a dramatic difference. If the Rams were better in every facet. They were better running the football than the Titans were. They were better at affecting the quarterback, which the Titans were unable to do. So, yes, while it is very frustrating and hard to even explain or find a reason for why or how it's happening, it's not the primary reason why they lost. They lost because the Rams are a significantly better football team, which we knew going in.
That to me, though, it's one of those things where he cited Nick Bonito's contract after the Broncos game, and then last night, Jackson, do you have the opening statement from Brian Callahan before my follow-up about why they can't get the penalties fixed?
Yep.
Can I hear from Brian Callahan in the opening statement, and tell me if you can identify the thing that bothered me about the opening statement. Go ahead, Jackson.
All right, frustrating to start the season 0-2, certainly. I still got a lot of belief in our football team that we can win games in this league and this season. But right now we haven't put together a game that's worthy of winning against 2 really, really good football teams to start today. Matthew Stafford, Hall of Fame caliber quarterback. We didn't do enough to disrupt him overall. Too many explosive allowed in the second half, totally. Didn't get any rhythm going on offense. Again, the penalties are still a problem. We got to keep trying to get that fixed. But we're in a battle of a ball game. deep into the third quarter and almost into the fourth, and didn't make the plays necessary to put ourselves in position to win at the end in the fourth quarter. Too many things got away from us. That sack fumble was obviously killer for any momentum and any chance to try to keep ourselves in the game. So got to bounce back. We got a division game coming up this week, but I'll let you guys go ahead.
You want to guess?
You're going to have to help me out on this one.
It's the built-in excuse making. We haven't put together a game worth winning against two really good football teams to start. Yes, I know the Broncos and Rams are better than you. I don't need to hear how much better they are than you just because you lost. That's not why you lost. Matt Stafford, we know, is a Hall of Fame caliber quarterback. Everybody knows this. I don't need to hear about it after the fact. I need to hear about the things that you did poorly en route to losing, not the ways that you got beat just because you're not playing the same sport as everybody else in football. We're in a battle of a ball game deep into the third quarter and almost into the fourth. Like, that's the bar. Great job. You kept it close.
I feel like you're reaching.
For a hot second. I'm not, Lucas. It's built-in excuse-making constantly.
He's talking about how the game played. Like, I hate how just sitting next to you is making me sound like the sunshine-pumping guy. But, like, yeah, they didn't affect the Hall of Fame caliber quarterback, so he picked them apart. Like, that's a part of the game. They were in the game in the third into the fourth quarter and then didn't make the plays they needed to make to win the game. Like, I'm sorry, but this is one that you're losing me on here. He just described what happened for 4 quarters. Like, that's what I heard. So, and I get it. You're 0-2 and you've won.
Great job. You
three
kept it
games.
close in the third quarter.
You've won 3 games in a season plus. But so all of these things have a magnifying glass, and I understand that. But now this is one that I'm having a tough time with this one when the coach just got up there and explained what happened for 4 quarters. And he didn't leave out the things they didn't do well. He mentioned all the things they didn't do well. The self-inflicted wounds, not making the plays that they needed too late, not affecting the quarterback, which allows him to surgically pick apart your defense in the second half. So, yeah, you're losing me with that one.
Well, that's fine, but I don't think the fan base agrees with you on that particular situation, as is their right. Like, Lucas, the thing that really struck me yesterday, and you can tell me if I'm reaching again on this or if you feel that I'm reaching again on this, because I don't think I am. They do this thing where they announce attendance, right? At every game. Mm-hmm. Every team in the league announces attendance. Now, that's a lie because it's not attendance. It's tickets distributed, but whatever. Like, I'm not gonna nitpick that today. But it's tickets distributed. Mm-hmm. The announced tickets distributed was 10,000 people below capacity at Nissan Stadium for the home debut of the number 1 overall pick. And I'm not mad at Titans fans about that. That's a Titans thing. They are giving people reasons not to show up. That there's not going to be a better opportunity for you to witness whatever it is that Cam Ward is going to do as an NFL quarterback than that game. And I know it's hot, and I know the tickets are expensive, but that should mean something to a fan base, except this fan base has been beaten down. This fan base has been drugged through it for the last 3 seasons. It's not just a Brian Callahan thing. This is a Titans thing.
Yep.
An organizational failure across the board. And it was shocking to me to look up into the stands and to see the above, the drone shots of Nissan Stadium yesterday and to see less people in the building than that preseason finale against the Vikings a couple of weeks ago. That, to me, was so telling.
Yeah, I wasn't in the building, so I can't speak to any of that. I was back at network control. But, yeah, look, this has been the case since the middle of the 2022 season. And that involves multiple head coaches and multiple general managers. Yes. But all of that aside, the Titans have not given their fan base – they have given their fan base a reason to do anything else on a Sunday.
Anything else.
Other than come to the game.
And but think about that. That's the thing. That's a part of why I'm upset about that opening statement or why I'm nitpicking that opening statement. There is not another team in the NFL. Maybe the Browns. Robert, is there another team in the NFL where you just assume they're going to lose when they trot out on the field on Sunday? Because this is a sport that maybe is not built for postseason parity because a lot of the same teams end up winning it all at the end. But in the regular season, most of these teams, at least you think they may have – it's the cliche. It's any given Sunday thing. That's not Brian Callahan's Titans.
Browns and Giants have been in that category
Browns and Giants.
Quite some time.
Okay, so
the Jets as well.
But you're one of the 3 – well, I didn't see the Jets result, but I heard Justin Fields was terrible yesterday.
It was not good.
Is your microphone not on?
It was not good. That's what happens when you lose games as constantly and consistently as the Titans have since 2022.
Yeah,
Cam
but
Ward,
the opener for Cam Ward.
Yeah, I know, and that's the thing. That shows that losing in the end will outweigh even the most exciting straw that fans have to grasp onto.
615-737-1045 is the number. Jump in there if you want to. You are welcome to participate as we broadcast live out here at Two Rivers Ford. All 4 shows are going to be out here at Two Rivers today, helping them fill a Ford with non-perishable food items, those in need, helping those in need by donating non-perishable food items to benefit Second Harvest Food Bank and the Mount Juliet Help Center. It goes through September 30th. Plenty of time, but make sure to capitalize today if you're out shopping around, getting some errands done. You can drop off goods at Two Rivers Ford here in Mount Juliet. There's also another way to help if your office would like to participate. If you are a business owner or somebody who works in an office space and you want to get them a part of the Two Rivers Ford Office Challenge, any office that participates will be automatically entered to win a catered Pred suite for 16 people for an upcoming Nashville Predators game this season. So easy to participate. Two Rivers Ford will drop off a box at your place of business and pick it up on the 30th with their social media team to give you a special shout-out on that day. Any office that participates, no matter how large or small, will get one entry into a random drawing to win a Preds Suite night in the Two Rivers Ford Suite. We've been in the Two Rivers Ford Suite for Cat Williams. It's a great time. You guys will enjoy 16 tickets, 2 parking passes, food, and non-alcoholic beverages are included. To participate, call Two Rivers Ford right now, 615-889-9215, 615-889-9215, and ask for our friend Tammy Jacobs, or email tworiversford@gmail.com.
And I signed us up.
Okay.
So we're signed up. So we're gonna win this suite night.
The zone.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Now, if we win the suite night, we should probably give it away.
No, absolutely
you
not.
will not go. We will give it away to...
Oh, so you just want to go in the suite?
Yeah, me, Lucas, Ramon, Slay. I want to have a big bash in
The
there.
good vibes.
I was told that if I bought a car today, I could get 2 submissions into it. So I feel like that's a fair trade.
You're going to buy a car today?
I'll have a Sunday car.
That's 615-889-9215. Ask for our friend Tammy Jacobs. She is here to help you. All right, coming up next, we will get into Cam Ward's performance specifically. That was part of the good and part of the bad, equal parts. I'm Buck Risings, 104.5 The Zone. Season your shot. The NFL season is rolling, and every touchdown can bring you closer to a payout with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. From first touchdown scores to anytime touchdown props, with the thrill of live in-game betting. Every snap is loaded with opportunity. Tonight, your opportunity, as provided by DraftKings Sportsbook, is this. We got a little bit of Monday Night Football doubleheader action. And this is what DraftKings offers you. If you back these running backs to show out and find pay dirt on Monday Night Football, they will give you a great payout. $10 pays $163 on this same game parlay setup that they have for you. Nick Chubb to score a touchdown, Bucky Irving to score a touchdown, Ashton Genty to score a touchdown, and Omarion Hampton to do the same. Get involved in the DraftKings Sportsbook app using promo code THEZONE. That's promo code THEZONE, and new customers, this one is for you. Bet just $5 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly, plus score over $200 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Presented by DraftKings. The crown is yours. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call or text the Tennessee Red Line, 1-800-889-9789, 21 plus. Tennessee only. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. See sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos. NFL Sunday Ticket offer for new subscribers only and auto renews until canceled. Digital games and commercial use excluded. Restrictions apply. Additional NFL Sunday Ticket terms at youtube.com/go/NFL Sunday Ticket/terms. Limited time offer.
Ward takes the snap, drifts back. He has plenty of time. Now he's going to roll back to the right. Back past the 30, 25. Throws across his body to the back byline. It's caught! It's caught! That is a Titans touchdown! Alec Io Manor! Are you kidding me? What a throw by Cam Ward!
That is Titans Radio on the call of Cam Ward's first career touchdown. Only Titans touchdown that we've gotten through 2 games, but it was a cool one. Alec Imanner on the receiving end. Hanging out here at Two Rivers Ford. Welcome back to the show, presented by Hattie B's Hot Chicken, the best hot chicken in the world. Ben Jones will be with us in about 13 minutes. Brett Kern going to stop by as well. Brian Callahan's press conference is at 12:30 today. So Cameron Ward, yesterday against the Los Angeles Rams, was not, again, none of these performances have been what the internet is trying to make them. That doesn't mean that he hasn't been better than you can expect him or expect a rookie quarterback to be. But on the whole, even in the 33-19 loss, I thought that he acquitted himself well in the first half, and then when the game gets out of hand for Cam, you know, he's obviously put into in drop back situations that are not ideal. There were more opportunities for him to throw in this game, and he was really, really struggling after the field goal drive. I think late in the third quarter until about 6 minutes, a little less than 6 minutes in the fourth quarter is how long he went without completing a pass, and obviously the offense stalled out as a result. But on aggregate, Cam Ward solid and special in moments against the Rams yesterday. And that's basically what it feels like this experience is going to be all year long. From a statistical standpoint, 19 of 33, 175 yards passing, 1 touchdown. He had 4 rushing attempts for 8 yards. Obviously just trying to scramble and make something happen. 82.3 was his quarterback rating yesterday.
Yeah, his first half, 10 of 17 for 123 yards and a touchdown. He had completed passes to 6 different receivers and was a big reason why they really had to, their fortunes turned on third down largely because they started to cut out some of the penalties in the second quarter and they weren't in as many 3rd and 12s and so on. They started 0 for 4 on third downs, and then they made 4 of their next 5. They converted 4 of their next 5. So obviously that led to some success. The next-gen stats, have you seen this on the touchdown that we just heard from Cam Ward to Alec Iomanair?
Yes.
From pass to catch, the horizontal distance was 30.4 yards, the longest such distance on a touchdown pass on the run in the next-gen stats era, which goes back almost a decade. Cam reached over 11 miles per hour on the run as he got all the way back to almost the 30, and the total air distance, the ball traveled 42.3 yards on a 9-yard touchdown pass. It held a 14.2% completion probability, according to Next Gen Stats, which is the 4th lowest by a rookie on a touchdown pass since 2018.
It's a lot of work for a 9-yard touchdown pass, but it was cool.
Yeah. So, but it kind of
it was really cool.
That's why this game just sort of encapsulates what this season was always probably going to be what this game was always probably going to be for the Titans this season, right? Simply being outmatched. Obviously, it would behoove you to do the things that are very much in your control better, which are penalties. Like it or not, the Rams being better than the Titans is just out of the Titans' control at this point in time.
Yeah.
Right? Like in terms of what they have at their disposal.
Sure.
So that's probably what this season was always going to be. You wanted to see them hang around against good teams, Cam Ward do some cool things, but ultimately have the expectation that they would simply be outmatched, which happened Sunday. It didn't happen in Week 1, which is what made the Week 1 discourse so frustrating.
I think you can, again, I think that the context of the penalties is also important. Like, do they cost themselves opportunities to be in games? And that was a part of the conversation yesterday. Not the entirety, but a part. Cam Ward on Alec Iomanair. Let's hear from the 2025 number 1 overall pick, Jackson, if we could, talking about his fellow rookie who was on the receiving end of that touchdown.
Well, I've always had confidence since day one, and I knew it from the jump. Me and him went to the rookie premiere. We didn't have workouts or nothing. Me and him both wake up working out, and we throwing in the hotel room. So I just knew that me and him would connect on a lot of plays this season. I'm glad for it to be a big game like this. Try to continue off that.
So that was Cam Ward talking about Alec Iomanair, who was targeted 6 times. There were 3 players who were targeted at least 6 times yesterday in Ridley, Iomanair, and Okonkwo. Okonkwo and Iomanair both had 4 receptions. Calvin Ridley was the lead receiver with 57 yards, Iomanair with 56, however, and 1 touchdown. And then I saw the overreaction on social media, which is Alec Iomanair, obviously this team's number 1 wide receiver. And that's like, it was cool. Like, it was a really cool moment. And Alec, not just with the touchdown reception, but the 23-yard completion or reception where he's got it, like he's got the helmet or the football with one arm sandwiched between his helmet and his shoulder, like his neck and his shoulder pads, to come down with that on the sideline. It was a really, really cool play. And ultimately, Alec is something that is promising, right? Chimere Dike, promising. Yeah. Cam Ward, promising. Alec Iomanair, promising. Rookies doing a lot of heavy lifting yesterday. But that, talk about things that we knew coming into the season that have held serve so far. Talent floor raised slightly. Still a team with a great many flaws. And how they find ways to improve and develop those young and promising players is going to be the story. And ultimately the thing that the coaching staff will be, I think, should be judged most on.
Sure.
Are the rookies making that incremental progress, even if your team is outmatched or outgunned in these kind of games?
Yeah, that one-handed snag, like he had a propensity for making highlight reel catches at Stanford.
Yeah.
And so to see that show up in week 2 is obviously encouraging for the Titans. And Cam Ward, just the off-schedule stuff yesterday was really, I feel like his best moments came on a play action, right? A boot where he's rolling out.
He seems very comfortable on the move.
So comfortable. It's that is where it's almost like that's just where he wants to live. That is where he is in the game, feeling the rhythm of it. Although he did miss a wide open Jim Dike in the second half on one of those moments. But I mean, 3 or 4 of his completions were and some of the best plays he made in this game. Obviously, the touchdown at the top of that list were off schedule, on the run, just trying to, on occasion, make something of nothing. And it felt like, and maybe Greg Cosell could talk about this later this week too, it felt like the Titans tried to put him in more of those situations too, didn't it? Like just a little more play action, boot, rolling out, cut the field in half type stuff.
I would say.
Compared to week 1.
615-737-1045. Former Titan center Ben Jones will join us here at Two Rivers Ford coming up next.
It is 11:01, broadcasting from Two Rivers Ford in Mount Juliet at the Phil of Ford Food Drive. I'm Lucas Panzica. The Titans are 0-2 after a 33-19 loss to the Rams Sunday at Nissan Stadium. Holding on to a 13-10 halftime lead, the Titans were outscored 23-6 the rest of the way. Cameron Ward, in his debut at Nissan Stadium, 19 of 33, 175 yards, a touchdown, and a lost fumble. His first career touchdown pass was to his rookie classmate, Alec Iomanner. Brian Callahan is set to meet with the media coming up at 12:30. You can hear that live right here on The Zone. On Saturday, Tennessee fell in overtime in a shootout against Georgia, 44-41 at Neyland Stadium. The Vols remain in the number 15 spot in the AP poll on Sunday. Vanderbilt is in the top 25, ranked 20th after their 31-7 win at South Carolina. And tonight, a Monday Night Football doubleheader wraps up Week 2. The Texans hosting the Bucks, kickoff at 6. You can hear the Westwood One call of that game here on The Zone. And the Raiders host the Chargers in AFC West matchup, kicking off at 9. For all your foundation repairs and waterproofing needs, visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone. Hour number 2, welcome back from Two Rivers Ford in Mount Juliet, the Phil of Ford Food Drive. Non-perishable food items to those in need. You can help out by donating those items to benefit Second Harvest Food Bank and the Mount Juliet Help Center. Come by and see us. We are, of course, on Belinda Parkway in Mount Juliet, and we are filling up this F-150 that is right in front of us, and we're going to let you know how your office can enter a chance to win a fully catered Pred Suite for 16 people. All you got to do is call Two Rivers Ford right now, 615-889-9215. Ask for Tammy or email tworiversford@gmail.com. And any office that participates will have Two Rivers Ford drop off a box at the place of business, and it'll be picked up on the 30th with their social media team to give you a special shout-out on that day. The winner will be drawn for a free Pred Suite. So a lot going on out here in Mount Juliet. Lucas Panzica here. Buck has gone to the bathroom, very intentionally it feels, because Ben Jones, Titans legend, Georgia Bulldogs legend, sits down with us here at Two Rivers Ford after Tennessee's 41-41 loss at Neyland Stadium on Saturday. Ben, congratulations to Gunnar Stockton, to Kirby Smart, and the Georgia Bulldogs for winning one of the best games of the college football season to this point.
Hands down. It's what every fan wanted to see. Great game, went down to the wire, and I thought it was great by both offenses. They both played lights out, explosive plays. It was fun to watch, and honestly, as a diehard dog, Tennessee should have won that game. You put it down there. You did Heupel did a great job executing down there in the 4-minute, running the clock all the way out, getting in field goal range, getting it on the spot his kicker wanted it, and that's what it comes down to. A kid, it's a lot of pressure, and it just didn't work out for him on that kick.
Multiple opportunities for Tennessee to win that game, whether it's the 4th down stop that ends up with the Gunnar Stockton throw, the touchdown to London Humphreys, Nashville native, CPA, yep. Vanderbilt transfer, the 2-point conversion, another one of those moments. Obviously, the missed field goal at the end of the game. We're going to talk about the Titans' loss to the Rams yesterday with Ben Jones, but it did feel like the way that game was trending, Ben, early on, the Vols hanging 21 in the first quarter, and it was just, okay, this is going to be Josh Heupel versus Mike Bobo. That's what that felt like. It was just going to be tit for tat, an old school shootout, which Tennessee and Georgia haven't been in a game like that close. In such a long time. Yes, certainly not in this era. Mike Bobo, for all of the flack that he gets from Georgia fans and has gotten, is there a game in his career in multiple stints under different head coaches as Georgia's offensive coordinator where you think he slept better the following night, right? Just with how much Georgia fans have griped about Mike Bobo and his play calling in the Kirby era.
Yeah, it's been since I was in college. He was our OC. It was always Bobo's fault. It was always this. It was always that. He can only call it for one half. He can never finish a game out or not have a good first half. They did it the whole game. They ran the ball. They had a game plan. They stuck to it, and they executed. A lot of times it's like last year Alabama. It was the worst first half ever. Then the second half, we get a lead with like a minute left in the game. I think both offensive sides was lights out for the Tennessee and Georgia game, and it came down to who's going to have the ball last and who's going to make a mistake finally.
I do want to ask you, one turning point in this game is the Gunnar Stockton sack fumble, right? Joshua Josephs gets home,
Yep.
Tennessee takes over, and a chance to go down, either hit the field goal to make it an 8-point game or score a touchdown, make it a 2-score game. And Heupel plays it conservative.
Yep.
This feels like the thing Tennessee fans are coming back to over and over about this game. And he talked about it, seeing the too high safety look, how it was a light box, felt like they liked that matchup. They don't get a first down. It's a 48-yard field goal. Gilbert drills it.
He did.
And you're putting Georgia in a spot where they need a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. As a Georgia fan, how did you consume that in real time? Were you happy with the way Tennessee was approaching it, with the momentum that they had on offense in the passing game?
Yeah, you were like, hey, it was big play after big play. We knew they could take shots at any time, and we did the exact same thing. Like, we went down out of half, had a huge drive, ran it all the way down the field. Tennessee went 3 and out. Then we turned around and could have put a dagger in them and went 3 and out and punted. Like, we had a chance to put them away. We didn't take advantage of it. Then Tennessee had the exact same opportunity. I feel like both teams got conservative in that moment and didn't really want to put this game away.
By the way, Eric in the F&M Bank chat says, Bobo still got to go. So still after hanging 44 in Neyland Stadium, it's not
Never good enough.
I mean, but that's like always the case when you deal with a fan base, right? Like, I feel like they hyperfixate on one face because that's the easiest thing to do. For the Titans fans today, it's Brian Callahan.
Yeah.
For Vols fans, it's Josh Heupel. Like, even though there's so many other elements to a football game, so many other things that go into it across. I mean, what did that game end up being as far as time? Like, damn near 4 hours, between the overtime and everything else. Like, you can't just pin any one result on any one person.
100%. Like, that was 2 well-coached games. Like, it was play after play being made by both offenses. Defenses stepped up in multiple times throughout the game, having big stops. It was a good football game. Somebody just had to lose. And I know Georgia fans were happy
to lose that way, man.
Oh, it hurt so bad. Like, I wish we could have had a couple more overtimes and it could have went a little longer, but it was a great game to watch. Both sides of the ball. Like, I couldn't get mad. If Tennessee would have made that field goal, I'm like, they actually deserved it. They did it the right way. They controlled the clock at the end of the game, and it came down to a kick, and it just didn't work out for them.
At some point, you just got to tip the hat as a Tennessee fan to Gunnar Stockton, man. Like, that was a deal where he was coming in, okay, how's he going to handle his first ever road start, and for it to be in front of a raucous crowd. And it was, I mean, we were there.
It was
electric on Saturday.
So cool.
And for him to step up in that moment, Ben, 4th and 6, game's over if they don't convert. Tennessee's got the ball. They run for 1 first down. The game's over.
Right.
And just the drop in a bucket to London Humphreys. I keep wanting to say Ladd McConkey, but London Humphreys.
Trauma.
And it's against the true freshman corner that Georgia was picking on all day. But Jermon McCoy, I don't care who's in there, that was a perfect throw from Stockton in that moment, staring down that Neyland crowd on 4th and 6. At some point, you just got to tip the cap to a dude that just met the moment.
Yeah, he came out and played. Everybody's been saying, hey, is he a guy? Is he just the next quarterback that's a good college guy? He went out there and earned it. He came in there in the second half versus the Texas game last year in the SEC championship and did what was asked. This is the first time I felt like they opened up the playbook, let him show he can spread it out, he can throw it. They ran the ball well, and that's the thing. If you can't run the ball, it kind of puts it a little more pressure on the quarterback. They were able to do more, and they moved him around and gave him easy opportunities to complete passes. So I think it was a well-called game.
It was mean what you did to Lucas after that game. I know you didn't send him that text.
Yeah, he didn't do nothing to me.
I would never do that to Lucas. Lucas is a great guy.
That's what I'm saying. Ben is gracious in victory. That is simply you trying to pit us against each other.
No. I'm sorry. Was there not a text on my phone immediately after that field goal was missed?
I didn't know y'all were together.
Not to me. Not to me. See, I know what you're trying to do.
What's your son's name?
That was Case, my youngest.
Case. Just a video of Ben's youngest son barking at Luke.
That's what you call raising them right.
But I love that so much because it is that kind of tribal. Like, it does start that young, literally, and you could tell how much that game meant to obviously both sides. For Vols fans, hugely disappointing. For Kirby Smart, man. My God, what a victory lap that man took around Neyland Stadium.
Ben, what I love about going through these experiences with Buck is that every time he has a college football experience, it's like somebody discovering college football for the first time.
That's so cool.
Like, it is that tribal.
Yes.
Oh, they do like it.
I love it.
Oh, it was electric in an SEC stadium.
No, because, Lucas, do you see where I spend my Sundays? There's no greater sports to Americas than Neyland on a Saturday versus Nissan on a Sunday lately.
No, it was
the
rocking.
South is built on the SEC football. Like growing up, I did not watch pro football. Like we watched Alabama, Auburn, Georgia on Saturdays, went to church on Sunday, and if a game was on that night, we might watch it. But college football was everything for us growing up in the South.
615-737-1045 is the number. We're here hanging out at Two Rivers Ford. We love being out at Two Rivers Ford. Aren't you a Two Rivers Ford customer?
I am a Two River Ford. I have bought a lot of vehicles from them, and we're a repeat. We're every 3 or 4 years we're switching them out here.
Absolutely. And they've been doing that for over 4 decades, and they're an institution in the community for a great many reasons, but today they are doing something great. This month they are doing something great with the Fill a Ford community effort. Non-perishable food items, bring them here to Two Rivers Ford because they are donating to those in need to benefit Second Harvest Food Bank and the Mount Juliet Help Center all the way to the end of the month. So September the 30th, you got plenty of time, but we talked about that office challenge that they're doing for the opportunity to win a catered Preds suite, courtesy of Two Rivers Ford. 16 tickets to the suite, 2 parking passes, food and non-alcoholic beverages. All you have to do to enter is call Two Rivers Ford at 615-889-9215. 615-889-9215. Ask for Tammy Jacobs. She's here to field your calls and make sure that you can get involved. Any office that participates in this office challenge where Two Rivers Ford drops off a box at your place of business and picks it up on the 30th with their social media team to give you a special shout-out on that day. Any company, no matter how large or small, like I mentioned, gets the opportunity for one entry for that Preds Sweet Night drawing, courtesy of the great folks at Two Rivers Ford.
By the way, shout out to Stringfellow, Grade A Construction, Busy Bee Heating and Air Conditioning, Just Trucks, Hermitage Golf Course, all among the businesses that have already entered. So make that call, send that email to be a part of this contest. And if not, just drop some stuff off.
Do some good and maybe get something good out of it.
Protein bars, beans, rice, cereal.
Just make sure that they go in the back of this F-150 that's in the front, not in Robert Walsh's Ford Bronco, because we have to watch that.
Yeah, we're not filling that Ford.
Ben Jones hanging out with us for another segment, as is the custom on Mondays. I'm Buck Rising. It's 104.5 The Zone. Welcome back to the show, fueled by Hattie B's Hot Chicken, the best hot chicken in the world. We're at Two Rivers Ford today. Speaking of things that are the best, they are the best when it comes to quality American-made Ford vehicles, award-winning customer service, and just giving back to the community, which is exactly what we are helping them do today. They're kicking off their Fill a Ford initiative to benefit Second Harvest Food Bank and the Mount Juliet Help Center. You can contribute to that cause. Come by Two Rivers Ford. There's a beautiful platinum F-150 in front of us with canned goods, non-perishable items in the back. You can bring your non-perishable items to benefit the less fortunate. Just drop them in that F-150. Or like we said, many businesses participating in the business initiative for the opportunity to win a Predators Sweet Night, courtesy of Two Rivers Ford, the South's most trusted Ford dealer. Ben Jones is here with us. Titans legend. Was not a legendary performance yesterday, Ben.
Yeah, we let another one slip through our fingers. We were right there at the end, and they had a turnover at the end of the game, and just we're finding ways not to win, and that's hard. They put yourself in a situation. They played a good first half. They were right there in it again in the third, and just let it slip right through their fingers again.
So let's talk about the amount of pressure that Cam Ward is under, because some of it, talk to me about sacks as a quarterback stat.
Yep.
Given your background as an offensive lineman, because we talked about people pinning blame on individuals for things.
Yep.
There are 11 sacks that have been taken or given up in these first two games. When you are going through after a game and talking about, all right, this sack's on us versus this sack's on the quarterback based on what the play call is, how deep the drop is, how quickly the ball's supposed to come out, how do you guys evaluate that versus the way that the public discusses it?
Yeah, everybody has their part in it. From an offensive lineman, yes, you got to block them. You can't give up anything quick. You can't be in third and longs. Like, hey, some penalties right there on third down, false starts that put you back. So that means receivers got to get open, quarterback's got to throw it on time, O-lineman's got to block, back's got to do their response. So it's not just, hey, 5 guys out there and that's where all the sacks come from. It's the whole offense that's got to be better. Like, hey, you got to have some urgency. Like, routes take longer if you're in third and long. Like, yes, you got to block a little longer. The quarterback's got to, hey, it's not as clean. So if you can live in that third from 6 and less, it makes everybody's life easier. The receivers don't have to run as far to get open. You got more options. You can run it. You can throw it. It's easier throws for your quarterback and the receivers to get open instead of, hey, every one of them's like, how this is make or break for them. It's a huge route down the field, back shoulder throws. Everything on those plays has got to be perfect. And, yes, like, it is hard blocking some of those guys on third down. You just want it like once or twice a game, not 6 to 10 times a game. So you got to live in a little different mindset on third down. And you're at home, you got to use a snap count. I know that, but communications, don't let the guy who's been in there, his first OJ in there, and like, hey, communicate with him. Like, hey, sit in there, it's a hard count. Like, have a code word with him. Can't have multiple false starts and put yourself in third and longer.
And Zeitler went out of that game with an injury. They had Blake Hance come in. He also had a penalty. So it's not – they were working with a backup right side across the board without Latham, and then for a period of time later in the game without Zeitler.
6 of 15 on third down, the Titans. Ben Jones hanging out with us at Two Rivers Ford. Have you ever been a part of something like that where there's just this stretch where you just feel like for the life of you – you can't shake this penalty bug?
Yeah.
23 penalties in 2 weeks. Like, is it like this intangible thing? I mean, Callahan seems almost mystified by it post-game with how much they hammered it in the postseason, Ben. And it's back-to-back games of double-digit penalties, which didn't even happen to them last year at any point. Is there anything you can pinpoint? Like, what are the first things you're looking at if you're a player in that situation and these things just keep piling up?
Yeah, you got to really focus on those things in practice. Like, hey, I'm going to be dialed in to the snap count every play. You got to control what you can control. You can know the play, know what to do, and know the snap count. If a guy is actually better than you, that sucks. But those things you can control, and you can't have – we always said no pre-snap penalties. Don't hurt yourself before the play starts. Yes, you're going to have a holding penalty because a guy beats you. Do that. If you hold them, make sure they don't sack the quarterback, so at least you get to repeat it and they can't decline it. So you got to know how to work the rules and stuff like that. Just be better in pre-snap opportunities. And that's stuff you work in practice. Like, hey, you hammer it, you work all your cadence in practice so it doesn't show up in the game.
You could have answered that question in a much shorter fashion by just saying, yeah, we would tell Lawan to cut it out.
No doubt. No doubt.
The way you closed your eyes right there.
That Chiefs game where AJ got in his face because he would not stop false starting is one of my favorite moments of all time. Because Taylor was on Twitter yesterday. I had a video of Skoronski. Skoronski is answering questions, Ben, about the group as a whole, not about his specific committing of penalties, and Taylor took that video and said, here's another 77 for the Titans talking about penalties. My response was, well, he's talking about other people's penalties, unlike you. You're talking about your entire career.
I mean, do you see any sort of common thread? The penalties, all three phases, right? That's the thing that makes it so mystifying, Ben. It's not just one unit. It's not like this one thing that keeps happening. Yep. It's just popping up at different moments with different units and different players. It's just – I don't blame Callahan for being mystified by it because the rest of us are.
Yeah, it's a young team for you. You're going to make mistakes. They're playing hard. I had multiple guys text, hey, man, that defense flying around. I'm like, when you're playing that fast, you're playing that hard, and you're straining to win, you're going to have penalties. But you got to know the rules. Like when Sed hit him on the special teams play, it took back a big play. He's saying he's using he used the shoulder. Like, he doesn't – he thinks he's using his hand, but he's playing full speed. You want a guy giving full effort. And that's when you know the rules. Like, hey, you either got a high screen, play with length, or the guy's already by. Like, it doesn't make – that block does not make a difference. Like, knowing the rules, knowing the situations, and knowing how these refs call games. Like, they have points of emphasis. Like, hey, if it's the tackle not being lined up all the way on the ball, or, hey, they're really this referee staff has really caused defensive holding a DPI. Like, you got to know that going into the game. Like, hey, this is our crew. This is what they hold their hat on. They're going to have 10 holding penalties a game, or, hey, they're a DPI kind of defense of calling. So know that going into it, and knowing, hey, I'm not going to hold this week. I'm going to stay away from that. Like, these refs are all over it.
That's such a critical part of winning in the margins, Ben. Just like that dialogue with officials. Blaine was talking about this yesterday, Lucas. I don't know if you caught it on pregame. Like the conversations that he would have with refs before a game, just to start a relationship with them. Be like, hey, what are you tight on today?
Yeah,
like
no doubt.
just so I know going in. And that's something that is great advice for a Jarvis Brownlee, right? Who's probably this team's version of, hey, we know that guy's gonna have a defensive pass interference at some point. We know that guy's physical. We got to keep an eye on him. He's going to draw more flags, not just because he has that physical style of play, Ben, but because they're looking for it going in.
Absolutely. The amount of times I talked to a ref before the game, I'm like, hey, this nose guard's a big holder in the run game. So if you see me spin, I'm not just out here trying to dance and spin. I'm being held. So I go ahead, instead of having to go tell him after it does it, I alert him beforehand. I'm like, then you get deeper into these conversations during camp and be like, hey, as a back judge, are you looking at tackle in, center out? Like, how are you looking at the O-line when you're looking at each snap on the run? He's like, I started to tackle. So you're telling me I can hold for a half second before because you're watching Lawan. Everybody had looking at Lawan. So I can be like, hey, I can get away with this punch, this kind of thing right away and benefit me. But later in the snap, I got to be good with my hands, got to hold up at that point. So I knew every side of the rules of it as an offensive lineman to kind of eliminate that early on.
Were most referees pretty back and forth open to that type of stuff, like that dialogue?
They want to talk to you. They want to be your friend. They want to. They don't want you hollering at them, I shouldn't have been a holding penalty. Talk to them before the game. Like, hey, get in the TV timeouts. Like, hey, this guy's doing this, and alert them. Don't be hollering like, oh, he's hitting me in the face. Like, hey, guy's hand's getting in my face right here. Like, can you look on that for me for the next third down? Or like, hey, they hold on third downs and run their stunts. Like, I would tell them on second down, like, hey, alert this hold right here, so you can get those calls in the game and not sit there and complain after it happens.
How long did it take you in your career to get to a point where that was part of your routine? That was a factor in your preparation and warm-ups and throughout the course of the game where you felt comfortable doing that?
Right. So in Houston, I had some veteran guys from Dwayne Brown to Chris Myers to Wade Smith who were in like year 8 through 12. So I saw them, how they prepared, how they talked to the refs before the game, during the game. When I was young, I just played. Like, hey, I'm going to do my role, communicate how I need to. But when I came here, I was like, hey, I am the veteran. I have to maintain this role for that and try to help my guys out. So I had to be the voice for all the other guys because they were focusing on blocking their guys. And I was like, hey, I kind of got this role down. So I was the leader for them. And I feel like the whole time I was here in Tennessee, that was kind of my role.
We have a little bit of news, but it's not big enough to warrant the breaking news update. But it's Titans related. This is Adam Schefter on Twitter. Titans and 3-time Pro Bowl defensive tackle Jeffrey Simmons have agreed to a revised contract that includes a $632,529 raise for the 2025 season. And Ben, have you ever heard of this? The specific amount stems from the 17th game check Simmons did not receive in 2023 under his previous contract.
Oh yeah, because we went from 16 games to 17 games.
Okay, so it's just okay. That makes sense. But Jeff did change his agent this offseason, so he hired Todd France, who famously represents Derrick Henry, among other people at Athletes First. Simmons now has become the first player to retroactively receive this bonus, which sets a precedent for everybody else. So Titans doing right by Jeff Simmons in that particular situation.
He earns it. He plays his tail off every Sunday, and that's the person you like, hey, this is the guy we look to. We want him to set a staple here. We're going to treat our guys right, and he's the perfect person to start it with.
That is some good agent work.
Well,
no doubt.
That's
when you play good and play hard, you should be rewarded.
The benefits of hiring an actual agent as opposed to the last guy that Jeff had. Anyway, talk to me about Jeff, because his play so far, just the play alone, not the two penalties in Denver, Ben, because obviously he can't do that.
Right.
And he talked the refs out of a penalty that they ended up picking up yesterday.
It wasn't a penalty.
Late in the game, fair, which they understood.
Yeah.
I mean, Jeff is the same player, but are you seeing any benefits of his physical change? Because he's down about 20 pounds, but I don't notice any lack of power or anything that would, indicate that Jeff's not the exact same player, just, a little bit more light on his feet.
Yeah, I think he's playing more snaps for us. He's able to chase the ball down. He's not getting tired. He's not needing the sub, and we have to have him out there. Like he's done the right thing for what this team needs. We need him on the field. Not having Big Sweat as partner in there, he gets a lot of double teams. Like you can tell every play action, everything early in those drives, they made sure that every one of those play actions, Jeff was double teamed. Like they were making sure, like, hey, we're not going to run at him. We're going to double team him on all these play actions, and we're going to slide to him on third down. So he is fighting the uphill battle on all games, and he finds a way to make plays. He's doing that, and we've got to get healthy in some spots and get him back there so he can get some more one-on-one matchups.
The other part of this, to talk about individual players, Ben, and I know offensive line is not an individual thing, but Dan Moore has had a tough start to his Titans tenure. And he gave up a lot of sacks last year, or he was credited with giving up a lot of sacks last year, but he had a quarterback in Justin Fields, holds the ball too long. Russell Wilson the same, creating a lot of their own pressure. When you guys see Pro Football Focus grades, how much value do you assign to those versus the way that things are graded out in the meeting rooms? Because right now, Dan Moore is the 83rd of 85 qualified offensive tackles in football, according to Pro Football Focus. There are a great many things that go into that out of the 57 offensive snaps that he's played.
Yeah, they don't know what the play's being called. They can kind of see, hey, he's one-on-one on this. Hey, he's getting beat on a run block here. So they can see that, but they don't know the actual scheme and what he's coached them to do. So you can kind of use it half and half. Like, I liked it. I graded well on it. LaJuan hated it because he didn't grade well on it.
Penalized all the time.
Yeah, so you got different ways to grade it. And teams say they don't use it in negotiation. They do when you are not doing well on PF. But if you are, they do. They're like, oh, we don't use PFF if you're grading well. So it's a lot of value in there for not for more of like grading, but to be able to break down tape. You can look at all the third down cut-ups. You can see all the stuff. They have a lot of information on that site, so it's great for coaches to pull stuff, scouts to pull stuff, but actually how a guy actually grades, it's kind of hard to see. But, yeah, he flashes, he does well on some blocks, and he's just got to be a little more consistent.
Should we take some calls?
Sure. 615-737-1045. Ben Jones, Titans legend, hanging out with us. Speaking of Titans legends, Brett Kern will be along here shortly, as is typically the case on Monday. We're broadcasting live at Two Rivers Ford. Jackson is back in the studio. Jackson, who's up first?
We got Mary Claire on line 2.
Go ahead, Mary Claire.
Southern name.
Hey there. Great to hear from you, Ben. You want to come back and suit up and help us out a little bit before they get you killed?
You're not officially retired, are you?
I don't know if I didn't fill out any paperwork.
Okay.
No, I'm busy. I enjoy watching them, and these guys are a little younger than me now, and they're going to get together.
All
I
right.
think they
Well,
got a
we
good
sure
coach.
miss you.
Well, thank you, man.
But, okay, seriously. So I understand that week 2 is not when you want to fire your head coach. But with that being said, Wisenhunt was 3-20 when he got fired. Callie is currently 3-16. How much longer do we give him? And I will hang up and listen.
Just a quick correction on that, Mary Claire. He was Wiz was 3-23 when they. So that's 7 more games of a sample size, about halfway through the season in 2015. From a locker room standpoint, Ben, I know you guys try to internalize your all's messaging as opposed to what's being discussed on the outside. But I mean, you guys aren't unaware of the dialogue around people that are embattled, be they coaches, quarterback, or otherwise. How does a locker room kind of handle that kind of stuff when it's swirling?
Yeah, you're trying to focus on, you shut out the outside world. Like, when I played, I did no media. I turned off all social media. Like, I didn't want to hear it. Like, I only focused on winning in that thing. And that's kind of what you got to do. You kind of turn out the outside noise, and you got to focus on, hey, what's the little things that just get one? And then it snowballs. Like, hey, can we get 2? But at firing a head coach right now, I don't think it's feasible. Like, you got a young quarterback. You're trying to set yourself up for a future. Don't give him more unknown right now. Like, let him build on to have a whole year. This is what you have the first pick in the draft. That means you had probably the worst roster and all that last year. Like, yes, you're going to have some growing pains, but you have a bright spot. Cam's going to be good. Like, let's keep working. Let's keep developing our guys, and let's see how the year goes. Then if you want to make a change or something in the offseason, but don't put him in any more turmoil right now. Like, hey, let him have a complete rookie year, and let's develop this guy and put him in a good situation from here on out.
Wiz was 3-20, by the way. So he ended up getting fired. He was 1-6. The Titans
After the Texans
were 1-6. Oh, you were on that Texans team.
I was.
So you would know. They were 1-6.
Well, that's interesting because Pro Football Reference has him 3-23 as the Titans
As
coach.
the Titans head coach specifically?
Yes.
Interesting.
Okay.
It was midseason.
It was
around Thanksgiving-ish because I remember I was
One
Dove
week
Hunt.
2.
Well,
No,
it wasn't week 3, but Callahan, if he loses next week to the Colts, would be 3-20. That seems a little early. I think we can hammer that out here in just a second.
Also the 17-game seasons factored into. Wisenhunt did not have those, but yeah,
it was only one full season. That
it's
he got.
hell, they're firing coaches in week 3 at the college level. We got 2 head coaches.
Oh my
gone.
God!
Yes.
UCLA.
Yeah, it's mid-September.
And Virginia Tech. And those kids can leave right now because it's not the 4th game.
What?
They can transfer and redshirt somewhere else.
For 30 days.
So imagine that happening.
The portal opens.
You could lose your whole team.
That's the policy. When a head coach is fired for 30 days, the portal is open for those kids, nobody else, just those kids. And, yeah, to Ben's point, all of them would be eligible to transfer somewhere and redshirt if they were to play 1 game or less.
So Nico can leave.
Nico can dip. I mean, I was trying to think.
Come on.
Now, I don't know how that works with his NIL situation. Like, how many games would he have to play to get that $1.2 million that he's making? Will he just pick up a quote-unquote injury and shut it down? He already has a red shirt. He redshirted his first year at Tennessee. I don't know what a red shirt really does for him.
No.
I mean, if he's still in college in 2-3 years, then he's got bigger problems. So I don't know. It'll be interesting, but yeah, not great over there on the West Coast. They might go 0-12, man. Like, unless they get an interim coach bump, and man, yeah, he gone.
Look at how much Lucas is enjoying that.
That's Tennessee fans. They deserve that.
Yeah, what an offseason that's been. Ben, I was told that I shouldn't have you on the radio just because you didn't talk to us as a player, but I'm glad that you keep coming back.
Hey, I'm happy to be here. I was focused on strictly winning, and that's it.
No, you were terrible. You were terrible to talk to in the locker room.
Oh, I didn't want to. I didn't do. It was said from above, like, hey, they're not for you. Like, only thing that matters is in this building, and that's all I cared about was my teammates and winning. And now I'm like, hey, I have nothing.
Look at you now.
Look at us. I'm enjoying it.
You're a media mogul.
Seeing a little personality in me. That's what Taylor used to always say. Why don't you just talk to him? I'm like, Taylor, You know how I feel about you.
Yeah, let's not take PR advice from LeBron.
So Taylor wasn't my guy. Like, you only had to have one guy to talk. Taylor loved talking. So why not let him do what he's really good at?
Yeah, that's about it. That and playing the song "Dead Puppies" in the corner of the locker room with him.
And I had a lot of stuff to do for practice. I had to tape my whole body. Like, I had to warm up and get ready for practice. Like, Taylor didn't have any tape on his whole body ever. Like, I was taped from my toes up to my knees some week.
Which is funny because Amazon Prime had him in a wheelchair and a full body cast by the end of his career. All right, Ben, we appreciate you stopping by. Any parting shots at Lucas on your way out?
Hey, it's a bright future for Tennessee. I think they're going to bounce back. The quarterback definitely is playing well for you. Offense looked good. Hey, you're going to win some games, and hopefully we don't see you again.
And
go Dogs.
There it is. We'll keep talking Titans and Vols after the football weekend. Get into a little Josh Heupel and Brian Callahan discussion as well, because both of them are in the spotlight today. Brett Kern will join us in the final hour here at Two Rivers Ford, where we are broadcasting live. Stop by, say hi, 76 Belinda Parkway. Bring your non-perishable items, whether that's canned tuna, chicken or salmon, protein bars, low-sodium soups, or chili, dried beans, or rice, boxes of cereal, anything that can be stored and served over the next few months while Two Rivers Ford continues to help out the community. You can do it between today and September the 30th, so you got plenty of time, but why waste time? Come on out to Two Rivers Ford, where we will be hanging out for the rest of the afternoon. I'm Buck Rising. It's 104.5 The Zone. There's never an excuse to not have Hiller with you. Hiller is here to help, just like they have helped so many Middle Tennesseans. If you're dealing with a plumbing, HVAC, or electrical emergency, nobody has the time for that. Most of the time, you don't know what it will cost or if it'll even get fixed correctly, or if someone is just trying to sell you something. That's when you call Hiller. Their experts are going to solve your problems quickly. Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical has been in business for over 35 years and is family-owned and operated. Their techs are professional, experienced, and trustworthy, and they're all background checked and drug screened. When they're on their way, you'll receive a photo of the tech and a link to track them in real time so you don't waste time waiting around. 100% satisfaction guarantee of happy you'll be, or the service is free. That's the Happy Hiller promise. So book online now at happyhiller.com.
Welcome back. Broadcasting live from Two Rivers Ford, 76 Belinda Parkway in Mount Juliet. We are filling a Ford F-150. So come by, bring your canned goods, your non-perishable food items as we benefit Second Harvest Food Bank and the Mount Juliet Help Center to help feed those who need it most in our community. And if you or your business wants a chance to win a Preds free, fully catered suite for a select game this coming season, all you got to do is call Two Rivers Ford right now, 615-889-9215. Ask for Tammy or email tworiversford@gmail.com and say you want to participate. Two Rivers will bring out a box to you. You fill it up, they pick it up, and you enter a chance to win in a drawing.
All right, so Monday is usually NFL heavy for us just because Titans, obviously, and it's tough to get through all the different things from a football weekend in just one day. So we're going to have a college football Tennessee-heavy conversation tomorrow. Josh Pate will be along. He was in Knoxville for that Georgia game as well. But I want to talk about something that Lucas said earlier in the show and then just mentioned again during the commercial break, which is the idea that you feel better about your Tennessee football team in 2025 today, despite a 44-41 overtime loss to Georgia.
I mean, almost on cue like this?
On cue. No. Come on here. Come on over here.
Are you kidding me?
Matt Murphy. Just in time. Put on a headset, Murph. Come on over here. We already had one Georgia Bulldog.
What do you live in the neighborhood? How far out of your way did you come to see us over here? I know you. I know.
I
Two Rivers
literally
Ford.
live less than a half a mile away.
Okay,
it's lovely to see you.
There's 2 turns to make to get to my house.
He was just talking about how much better he feels about his Tennessee football team after he lost to your football team.
He should. They should have won the football game.
They should have won that football game.
If my coach says it, I can say it. We should have lost that football game.
Yeah.
That was the most unexpected victory, and I can imagine the most devastating loss imaginable at the end of that game.
You handled it pretty well. Nobody else did, but you handled it pretty well.
I'm in a weird place right now where I've been hurt so much by this team that I don't know. It felt I came away thinking, okay, and maybe it's because of that safety net that the playoff provides, but I came away thinking that Tennessee is or could be a playoff team. It is a team capable of making the playoff, which is something that would have been iffy to say at best, I think, last
Not
week.
just because my drunk buddy Brandon would not shut up about the Vols going 10-2.
It's on the table.
I mean, I don't know how you say it any other way than either both of those teams on the field Saturday are playoff worthy or neither of those teams are playoff worthy. And I can't imagine you saying the latter. You have to say the former. And, I mean, I think Heupel's got you right there. Now, that does not take away the sting from the Vols faithful that you can't get over that hump, which I very much enjoyed toward the end of it. I mean, the question is, and I don't mean to rub it in, but the question is, when the young man, and I feel bad for the young man that missed the kick because, I mean, the opportunity was on 4th and 7 to win the football game. The opportunity was on the 2-point conversion to win the football game. And I'm sad for the kid that he missed the kick, but did you not feel after the kick was missed? I felt in my bones, and I said to my wife, we just won this football game.
Yes, if the air was out of the stadium at that point. But I will also say, the way Georgia came out in the third quarter and just started leaning on Tennessee, marched right down the field, scored, Vols got it back, went 3 and out. At that point, I was starting to trend towards, okay, now here we go. This is going to be more like Tennessee-Georgia of the last couple of years in the Heupel era. And Tennessee kind of regained its momentum offensively and started hitting those chunk plays again. So I honestly felt like that, Murph, early in the third quarter, just the way Georgia started to push them around a little bit, and they were able to figure it out, Joey Aguilar and Josh Heupel on offense. But, yeah, without question, once he missed the kick, especially when Georgia wins the toss going into overtime.
Sure.
And you hate for a game that good to end on a review like that, too. Just kind of a very anticlimactic way for it to end.
Yeah, no doubt. But, no, great atmosphere. Kudos to at least of the Tennessee Volunteer faithful that I interacted with. I got nothing but good things to say about the Tennessee fan base, right? There was one guy that wanted – There was one guy in my sect that wanted to talk to me. I had to tell him he wanted to talk to me after every score, and obviously, you know, it was the Tennessee scored, Georgia scores, then Tennessee scores 2 more, and after it was 21-7, I had to say, buddy, we don't have to converse after every score. It's going to be okay. Good luck today. You can sit over there 4 rows away and not talk to me.
Was your buddy? Was this Jackson Williams you're talking about?
It was not.
Is producing this show.
I was
right
going to
now.
allege it was Robert.
Jackson, for those who don't know, is Matt Murphy's producer. Afternoons on 99.7 WTN.
I am thankful that Jackson and I were not sitting in the same part of the stadium during this football game. Otherwise, he'd probably be looking for a job today. I imagine. That's what I anticipate.
Well, Jackson's on the board for us right now. You hear that?
Hey, buddy.
You were almost unemployed.
Jackson was very good. Jackson had to endure the ride home. As I told you guys last week, Jackson scored a ride home with the Matt Murphy caravan, and it was a relatively quiet ride. I think I heard snoring only once in the back seat after he cried himself to sleep. Yeah. But other than that, it was a good ride.
It was a good cry, too.
Gunner, a little bit of crying, just a little couple whimpers back there. How much did Gunner Stockton blow away your expectations?
I don't know how you can't say that this guy's not a baller after watching that insane performance.
Cool.
Over 300 yards at that place. And now you look at what he's been put through. Playing Notre Dame, one of the best defenses of last year, finishing the game against Texas, and now coming into the one of the most hostile environments in the country and being able to eke out a victory and at least hanging in there. Did he deserve the win? Maybe not, but he certainly didn't cause the loss and got the victory. I think the sky's the limit for this guy now. If what he needed was confidence, I don't know how 4th and 7 doesn't give you that confidence.
Yeah, and same with Joey Aguilar, right?
100%.
Both of these fan bases come away feeling so good about their quarterback situation, and Tennessee just has the loss now on their resume. It'll be viewed as a good loss, as good as it can be, even if it's at home. And so the path is obviously a little bit tougher than what Georgia has in front of them in terms of making the playoff, but it just feels like both fan bases came away shaking hands, yeah, that was awesome. Somebody had to win.
You guys should offer Nico an NIL deal to come back after to be the backup to Aguilar, right? When Nico hits the transfer portal, say, hey,
just
25,
we'll slide you something on the side,
$25,000 or something like that.
Mark,
to come on back.
Mac got a little inexperience. We could use some experience in that backup role if you could make your way back here.
That is so.
Aguilar is an absolute baller, and he's going to go far. I don't see how y'all aren't the top 3 or 4 team in the SEC, and I don't see how that doesn't get you to the playoffs.
Well, we can talk about changing expectations based on one game alone with Pate tomorrow. Matt Murphy, the Matt Murphy Show, 3 to 7 on our sister station WTN. We appreciate it, bud.
Thank you, buddy.
Thanks, man. You going back home? Or
I'm just heading
He
home.
literally just came here to bother you.
That's the truth. I said, there are 2 Rivers. All right, I'll get a little car wash, go bother Lucas, go home.
Great respect. Again, I'm just tipping hats. I'm tipping the hat to Gunner and to Georgia and to Matt Murphy. I understand.
It's all he can do. Saban made him this way.
But, and you bring up the idea of changing expectations, those are changing all over the place. They're changing for South Carolina after what happened to them. They're changing for Texas. Arch was dreadful on Saturday.
We didn't see it live, but just looking at some of the dialogue around him after the fact.
Expectations surely have changed for Alabama after that Week 1 loss to Florida State. So the SEC right now is so out of whack and all over the place that you lose a knockdown, drag-out game against Georgia, but still feel like everything might still be in front of you for what this conference has been at the very top. It's been fascinating to watch.
We'll go college football heavy tomorrow, but we'll continue reacting to the Titans' loss yesterday at Nissan Stadium in their home opener. Brett Kern will join us here at Two Rivers Ford in Mount Juliet or online at tworiversford.com where you can check them out. Bring your non-perishable items here to 76 Belinda Parkway. Put them in the back of that beautiful Ford F-150 Platinum Edition that's sitting in the lobby. And we would be grateful for your participation that way as we help them fill a Ford to help impact lives today through September 30th at Two Rivers Ford, the South's most trusted Ford dealer.
It is 12 o'clock, broadcasting live from Two Rivers Ford in Mount Juliet at the Phil of Ford Food Drive. I'm Lucas Panzica. The Titans are 0-2 after a 33-19 loss to the Rams Sunday at Nissan Stadium. Titans held a 13-10 halftime lead, but were outscored 23-6 the rest of the way. Cameron Ward in his debut at Nissan Stadium, 19-33, 175 yards, a touchdown, and a lost fumble. He was sacked 5 times. His first career touchdown pass was to his rookie classmate, Alec Manor. Brian Callahan will meet with the media coming up at 12:30. You can hear it live right here on The Zone. On Saturday, Tennessee fell in overtime in a shootout against Georgia, 44-41 at Neyland Stadium. The Vols remained in the number 15 spot in the AP poll Sunday. Vanderbilt is in the top 25, ranked 20th after a 31-7 win at South Carolina. Tonight, a Monday Night Football doubleheader wraps up Week 2. Texans host the Bucks, kickoff at 6. You can hear the Westwood One call of that game right here on The Zone. And the Raiders host the Chargers, an AFC West matchup that kicks off at 9. A little bit of Titans news as the Titans and 3-time Pro Bowl defensive tackle Jeffrey Simmons have agreed to a revised contract that includes a $632,000 raise for the 2025 season. It stems from the 17th game check that Simmons did not receive back in 2023 under his previous contract. For all your foundation repairs and waterproofing needs, visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once in your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Final hour for us here at Two Rivers Ford, but the rest of the shows, Blaine and Zach, 3HL, will continue broadcasting live as we help them get their Phil of Ford initiative going to benefit Second Harvest Food Bank and the Mount Juliet Help Center. We've got Brett Kern here, as is the custom, on a Monday. Brett, special teams. Let's say nice things first before I say all the nasty things that I've spent the first 2 hours talking about today. Special teams for the Titans is a plus.
It is. Joey Sly,
What a stud.
Yeah, I mean, he's got 8 field goals, 8 for 8. Unfortunately, he has 5 of the 31 points scored this year.
Yeah, there's that.
He's doing his job, which is, I think we talked about it. A little bit of the concern early on is, obviously Nick Folk leaving, Joey Sly coming in, and Joey's been awesome.
Second longest field goal in Titans history, in franchise history. Second only to, obviously, the great Rob Baronis and his 60-yarder. Joey getting that 57-yarder. The 55-yarder earlier in the game was tied for 5th longest.
Yeah.
So it's only a matter of time.
It's only a matter of time for Joey. If you look at the 57 and the 55, those things were halfway up the uprights. So you're looking at every bit of 65. If he gets an opportunity, end a half in a game situation, that record is in serious jeopardy.
You guys, you had mentioned this. How they can prepare the K-balls now versus what the original. You brought this up on Friday, and it's been telling around the league. Not just because Brandon Aubrey, the Cowboys kicker, hit a 64-yarder
to force overtime
over the weekend. I'm looking forward to watching some of these games back. It seems like everybody else in the NFL had a fun day except for the Titans and the Rams.
Well, I mean, going for 450 with your quarterback Russell Wilson and losing is tough. But, no, a lot of teams had a very not fun day. A lot of blowouts yesterday.
How do you think the Broncos feel knowing that the kid, Schroeder, had a 60-yard field goal attempt and that they tried to hop over Luke Rhodes?
Yeah.
Just why?
Crazy.
Why? And then, obviously, you get the 15-yard penalty. Much easier, 45-yard field goal, nails it right down the pipes, and there goes my Broncos covering the 1.5.
Ugh. You should have had it.
Why I said the Jags, I don't know. I played against them long enough. What am I doing?
By the way, we haven't even mentioned the Joe Burrow news that he is set to miss 3 months with toe surgery.
Oh, I didn't see 3 months.
It sounds like that's the timetable for Joe Burrow with that toe.
I am special teams, we were talking about the advantage that they see. Again, it's 2 games of a sample size. We don't know how much of that is going to bear itself out over 17 regular season games. But so far, as far as things that this team can build upon, the special teams unit is a plus. Now, Chimere Dike should have had a return touchdown yesterday.
Correct. Yep.
The penalty that was called on Cedric Gray, the second-year linebacker, was a blindside block. Now, by the letter of the law, Brett, it was the correct call, even though it was a soft call on the scale of, how far you might vary. But you noticed something watching that back that I don't think most people did. If you could expand upon that, please.
Yeah, unfortunately, you don't want to give the officials the opportunity to throw a flag, especially on a hit like that. But Gray and his counterpartner, it was a great sideline return. DK made the first man miss, got to the sidelines, and he was gone. But unfortunately, Gray and Harrell were in the exact same position. They were heading north. DK's heading south. They were heading north. Cedric Gray decides to lower the shoulder. And you could see Harrell thought about it, but he stuck out his right hand, kind of hits the guy in his shoulder pad, and then turns. So that's kind of the proper way to do it. And, unfortunately gets called back.
It's unfortunate, not just because of the mental error there, but also because the block wasn't necessary.
Correct.
DK was already gone.
3-4 yards downfield. It just wasn't necessary. It was a big play that was taken away. Special teams, as much of a bright side that they've been, they also have 6 penalties. Williams has 3 of them. Which is unfortunate. But yeah, special teams has done some great things. There's little things. The kicker for the Rams yesterday, he was doing a great job. I don't know if you can see on the camera, but he was hitting knuckleballs to DK.
Yeah.
They were getting on the ground in the landing zone, and those are very hard to catch in rhythm to get your return. So that throws off the whole rhythm of the return. Not only to mention, you have to cover the ball. You saw yesterday in the Pittsburgh game, the returner for Seattle, kind of goes over his shoulder, and he just starts, for Pittsburgh, starts, walking away, and the ball's live in the back.
Brutal.
Of the end zone.
And Pittsburgh gets a touchdown off of it.
Right. Seattle got a touchdown off of it.
Or Seattle, sorry.
But yeah, special teams has been a bright pot. Hecker's punting the ball well. Coverage is great. Joey's obviously, 8 for 8. But yeah, I think there's a couple things. You got the illegal formation on kickoff twice now, back-to-back games, which doesn't seem like a lot, but if you're getting the ball, on the 33, then you add 5 yards. There's just little things. DK had a punt, the first punt, he could have caught that on the 23. Instead, it hops back to the 15, 14-yard line. So there's little things you can nitpick, but to see the explosiveness, especially with DK and having that punt return, that sends a message to the teams that they're going to play. Like, hey, look, this is a dangerous punt returner, right? You have to make sure that you're hitting in your spots, you're getting the hang time, you got to have your coverage, your lanes down. If not, DK is he's gonna hurt you.
Fossil was giving the officials an earful.
Yeah, it's
a couple of different points
yesterday. It's in the moment, especially Cedric coming off saying, he was giving the motion like I was pushing with his hands, but then you see the replay. He lowers his shoulder and gets him kind of right under that chin strap, and the officials see that, they see the head kind of pop back. They're going to throw the flag. So it definitely wasn't the hardest hit I've seen on a crackback type blindside block, but it was enough to where, hey, this is a point of emphasis, and we got to throw the flag.
No, and it's a learning moment, and I want to bring this up because I mentioned it on Twitter, and I'm sure we've talked about this before. I'm sure we've had smarter people than us talk about it before. But how cognizant are you guys getting ready for a game? And I know that Vrabel would make sure to hyper focus, and Stretch would hyper focus on the officiating crew.
Scouting report on them
that you would have that upcoming week. But how cognizant were you guys of, if it wasn't the biggest game for television purposes, like you were going to get a lesser graded officiating crew versus Sunday Night Football or Monday Night Football that has the top tier, the top graded officiating crew? So at the end of the day, I think fans can get into a situation where they're like, oh, they just hate my team. No, you're just getting lesser refs on your game in a situation like this who aren't as good as these refs, as other refs in other games, because of the nature of the game, not because there's any kind of slight against the Titans or they don't, we don't get 50-50 calls or these kind of things. Like, how cognizant were you guys of that element of it?
Yeah, I think, every week we'd go through a scouting report of the refs, right? There's every officiating crew calls the game differently. I remember, they'd go up and talk about, hey, this crew calls the most offensive holdings, and you'd hear all the O linemen just, they start grumbling. Hey, they call the most DPIs, then the DBs and the safeties are grumbling, right? They call the most personal foul penalties, and Taylor wanted to be rolling his eyes, right? So yeah,
what gets you grumbling? What gets the special teamers grumbling?
Nothing. I just kick the ball to the left or the right and don't hit touchbacks, right? It's pretty simple. Yeah, I mean, you have to be cognizant of, what crew is officiating a game. What, Ben was talking about earlier. You talk to the officials like, hey, this guy tends to hold, right? So if I'm spinning out, like I'm not doing some crazy move, like I'm getting held, right? So communicating with the officials. And so it's just this is kind of the byproduct of when you have a very young team. You have a young coach. Guys are, like I'm sure Cedric was just amped up to make that block, and in the moment, it was the wrong thing to do. And obviously, you go back and look on the film, and you see what he did wrong, and then is he a repeat offender, right? You're looking at Williams on special teams. Like this is now 3 penalties on him, 2 games in a row.
Yeah.
There needs to be a conversation. So. Not off to a great start in the penalties. First in penalties, first in pre-snaps. 28 flags already this year. 5 of them declined, but they're minus 119 in penalty yards, and that's just with a young team like this, with the sacks that they're giving up. First in sacks. That's putting a lot of pressure on this offense.
By the way, Cedric Gray, who played 93% of the defensive snaps, was the defensive player who played the most special team snaps, 14 on special teams. James Williams, for a second straight week, only playing special teams.
Yeah.
And how much like as a vet on a special teams unit, if you got a young guy, first or second year guy, James Williams in his second year, who continues to, and again, I don't want to overreact to 2 games. Like it's not like he can't correct it, right, Brett?
Right.
But what is if a situation like that is prolonged? Is that incumbent upon the coaches to be like, all right, you're a liability, bud?
Correct. Well, yeah, I mean, Bones has to be able to go out there, and the guys that he's put on the field, he has to be able to trust them. And so at some point, the conversation may be had, might not be had. I don't know. It depends. We'll see what happens next week, against the Colts. But that conversation needs to be had of, hey, when he's out there, can we trust him to do, to play aggressive and penalty-free? So.
615-737-1045 is the number if you want to jump in. We're hanging out here at Two Rivers Ford, helping them fill a Ford today. You can do the exact same thing. Zach Lyons just did the exact same thing. Saw him show up with his canned goods, his non-perishable items to put in the back of that F-150 to help Two Rivers Ford feed the less fortunate. Today through the end of the month, September 30th is when you can participate. Lucas, they also have a great opportunity for businesses to get involved at a larger scale.
Yes, for an opportunity to win a catered Preds suite for 16 people to a Preds game this year. All you have to do for your place of business is email tworiversford@gmail.com or call 615-889-9215. That is 889-9215. Ask for Tammy and tell them you want to participate. Two Rivers Ford will drop off a box at your place of business. You spend the next 2 weeks filling it up with canned goods, non-perishable items. They'll pick it up on the 30th. Their social media team will be there too, by the way, to give you a shout-out on that day. And any office that participates, no matter how large or small, will get an entry into the random drawing to win the fully catered Pred suite. That's it. You just got to let them know you want to do it, and then you got to fill up that box with canned goods.
It's a pretty cool thing.
Saw some Chef Boyardee over there, and I was like, man, that hit hard back in middle school.
Calling my name.
That SpaghettiOs with meatballs.
When's the last time you had SpaghettiOs?
Oh, middle school.
That's the last time?
Yeah.
Not even for the Colonels? No SpaghettiOs? They living better than that?
No SpaghettiOs.
Brett Kern hanging out with us. Brian Callahan's press conference in about 15 minutes. We'll keep talking ball with the Titans legend coming up next. Welcome back to the show, fueled by Hattie B's Hot Chicken, the best hot chicken in the world. Brett Kern is here with us, as is the custom on a Monday. We're hanging out at Two Rivers Ford, the South's most trusted Ford dealer for the Phila Ford non-perishable food drive that they are doing to help impact lives in the Middle Tennessee area. We appreciate all the great efforts from our friends at Two Rivers Ford. What Titans fans are not appreciative of is the fact that the Colts have started 2-0 for the first time since 2009.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Brett, they haven't punted in a game yet.
First team in the Super Bowl era to not punt for the first 2 games.
Rigoberto's collecting checks just for holding. And he's not even kicking off anymore.
All right. That is
NFL dream right there. That is the dream.
Outrageous. Yeah. You watched that game in its entirety. I saw the second half of Colts-Broncos, the way that the Broncos just botched it at the end with the penalty after the Colts missed the field goal that would have given them the lead, moves them closer. They obviously make. Indy gets the 2-0 start and continues this ridiculous streak. As a special teams player, the idea that an NFL offense has not had to punt in 2 NFL games, what does that say about the job that they are doing?
They are very efficient. No turnovers through 2 games. They're leading the league +4 in turnovers.
Daniel Jones, no turnovers.
Yeah, he was
Indiana
excellent.
Jones. Like Tyler Warren looks like Brock Bowers.
Yeah,
79 yards yesterday. Jones was 23 of 34 for 316, a touchdown, and again a rushing score.
Bryce is watching the game, trying to figure out how he can get Alec Pierce off waivers. I mean, it's just
Jonathan Taylor.
They look great, and obviously to have no punts through 2 games. That's just unbelievable, and unfortunately, that's the Titans' next opponent, and they look very good, very efficient, and that's with Indy's top 2 corners being out too, which is scary. Titans are in for another dogfight.
And that's obviously, as Brett mentions, that's who the Titans will host at Nissan Stadium when they put Mike Keith in the Ring of Honor, by the way.
That's
awesome. Right.
Well deserved. Mike got a barn burner. I know you were paying attention to college, not just because you had your picks in, but that Tennessee. What'd you make of that Tennessee-Georgia game?
It was long. I mean, obviously we watched the first quarter.
Robert fell asleep in the third quarter in the stands.
Took our daughter to a soccer game or something, and then came back and was still able to watch the game. And it's just college football games are so long. But I mean, it was great. I mean, the way Tennessee came out, they were flying around, a high-scoring affair, and I just obviously Tennessee wasn't punished for the loss in the rankings, and I think those are 2 playoff teams. And I think Tennessee, the way they're playing right now, especially looking at Arch Manning's getting booed in Texas. I think Tennessee is easily a top 5 SEC team without a doubt.
Oof. It was a great game. It's so interesting how
trauma
not as good as Toledo beating Morgan State.
Run it up, baby.
Mighty Rockets.
Run it up.
Go.
Still in it.
It's what we need to start MAC play. Here we go.
the playoff path. Let's talk about the playoff
I'm
path.
so excited.
They already lost to Kentucky.
Yeah,
we're so excited.
It feels like USF is in that driver's seat right now for the G5 team. But coming back to the AFC South, it feels like every team right now outside of the Colts are having a bad time.
Yeah.
The Titans, obviously, we've been talking about it for the 2.5 hours. The Texans will play again tonight. They've got the Bucs 6 p.m. You can hear that game right here on the Zone.
Texans are favored.
2.5. I think we all took the Bucs.
Yeah,
home field. But yeah. The Jaguars losing. Joe Burrow left early in this game.
Yeah.
And Jake Browning leads the Bengals back in a comeback to beat the Jags. Liam Cohen is having these exchanges on the sideline with Trevor Lawrence, and we were talking about this in the break. I don't know if you guys saw the Brian Thomas Jr. stuff.
I did see some of it, but I just didn't know if Twitter was being dumb.
His body language was not good. He had a terrible drop right on the goal line pretty much, and then there's this one play where Lawrence throws the ball kind of into the back of the end zone. It's a deal where Brian Thomas Jr. has a chance at it. It's going to be a combat catch. He's going to take a hit no matter what. The way the ball's coming, and he ducks away from the ball and the defender, just spins away from the contact, and the ball just falls incomplete.
Yikes.
And people are losing their minds.
Well, yeah.
This is Liam Cohen after the game when asked if Brian Thomas Jr. was just avoiding contact on a very catchable ball in the end zone on Sunday.
Yeah. I got to go watch it, and just go figure out what that, was all about and what it looked like. I got to go take a look at that.
He wanted to say a lot more than he said right there.
He bit his tongue.
Yes. So
yeah, but you can say more by saying what he just said.
Sure.
But you very well know, too, there's iPads on that sideline, and he went and looked at that. So
it's the Colts and everybody else having a bad time through the first 2 weeks. Texans still got to play their second game, though.
I am fascinated by this game tonight because I think the Texans are frauds with that offensive line group. It's not because of C.J. Stroud. I just think they put him in a bad position. Like, you have to talk about supporting the face of your franchise, Cam Ward. I know C.J. Stroud's not the number 1 overall pick, but he's the franchise. Like, they had to do a better job around him this offseason. They loaded up on defense. Their offensive line is a bunch of mid-tier to lower-level players that aren't protecting him any better than the unit that got him shook last year. So it's going to be an interesting thing to see that one play out. Brett, for you, any other observations that were pressing out of yesterday's Titans loss? Because, I mean, it feels like we're going to have a same version of these conversations week in and week out, but I cannot get over the penalties that continue to sink them.
Yeah, the penalties, I don't know. There's just starting to drive 1st and 10. I mean, that first series of the game just kind of summed it up, right? 2 penalties, it's hard to overcome. Ben was talking about, trying to stay in 3rd and 6th and less. And it's just when you have penalties, sacks, there's 5 sacks. Yeah, the last one was Cam scrambling around. And I thought Cam did a good job of kind of maneuvering in the pocket at times, being able to step up, kind of throw. I think he had one to Io Manor in the first or second quarter, for a first down. And, the first 3 sacks, we're on the offensive line just getting beat one-on-one, right? And then the unfortunate one on the fumble, Cam, I watched it about 3 or 4 times this morning, just replaying it, and you could tell Chig was heading to the flat, to Cam's left, and Cam looked at him, and he just didn't throw. And then he waited on it too long. And Njoku, he had, I think it was Young, stopped on his first move, but then the ball was still there, and I think Njoku was like, yeah, I did my job. And then he just kept going. Ball should be out. And then obviously leads to a sack, fumble. The Titans, last week getting the ball in the 24, going backwards, didn't score points. This week, L.A. shows you what a really good, efficient team does. They get the ball in the 21, 3 plays later, it's a touchdown, right? And I think that's the difference between, playoff calibers. I would say that the Rams, I'll be curious to see what happens in the Rams-Eagles game this upcoming week.
That's a fun one.
I'm sure that'll be a pick-em. But the Rams are definitely a playoff team, if not a Super Bowl contender. So I think there's just some mistakes that are being made. And another thing that I looked at, at the on the stat sheet and all that kind of stuff was explosive plays. Rams had 8 over 20. Obviously, Nakua, that 45-yard rush on 4th and 1, some missed tackles, and next thing you know, he's gone. And the Titans had 3, and 2 of them came relatively early to Ridley on those bootlegs. Great, 1 for 26, 1 for 21, and then obviously Io Manor with that incredible one-handed catch kind of on his helmet. But after that, there was nothing. And so I think for the Titans to improve, to take a little bit of pressure off Cam, a little bit of that run game, I think we talked about a little bit on Friday, is just they need more explosive plays. And I think with some downfield passing ability that, obviously you saw with the Rams what they were able to do with their explosive plays. And I think not having T. Sweat in that pass rush, because if you give Matthew Stafford time, I mean, he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. He shows that he can pick you apart. Without that pass rush, I mean, Amani Hooker had the only sack, and that came in the 4th quarter.
And that was like a helmet tap type of situation.
Right. So, I think I'll be interested to see. Obviously, we have the sacks, we have the penalties. That's been a conversation that we've always had. But I think the explosive plays, Titans just need more of them.
Do you guys consider that when that moment where I can't remember what quarter it was in, where ball's over the middle, Ridley kind of gets his hands on it, then he takes some. Is that a drop?
It's a drop.
Are you talking about is it the one where Ridley had it and
then some contact comes in? And,
contact came in.
It would have been a
another
first
one.
down.
I thought he had it, and I'm trying to remember who it was for the Rams. He did an unbelievable job. Just punched it right out.
31 maybe. I don't have my flip card in front of me, but at least Brett, this is the problem with our vantage point, at least from the press box. I'm sure for you guys in game versus what you see after the fact. In real time, I mean, it looked like Ridley got popped from the press box hard enough to let go of that ball. When I watched it back last night, it just looked like Ridley dropped it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, obviously had some drops last week, this week, and the Titans are at a point now where they're a young team, young head coach. They're learning. It's trial by fire. They're learning, unfortunately, the hard way. And now, end of the half, right? They did a great job of scoring.
Yeah.
And then you come back, Cody Barton gets an interception, and they get points. Now, some people are going to say, well, you had 2 timeouts. Why didn't you take some shots, right? But I also understand, hey, look, Joey Sly has been Joey Sly. He is on fire. We're not going to take any chances. We're going to run 2 runs, call our timeouts, and we're up 13-10 going into half. So I thought that was they're doing some things really well. Unfortunately, it's just
the avalanche of other things that
the ability of being able to respond.
Yeah.
And I think that was an issue last year, and it's carried over to this year. But it's a young team.
Thanks for making us smarter, buddy.
Well, I don't know if I do that, but.
Oh, you do. Have you heard this show?
The level of discourse.
We got to listen to a sad coach's press conference, so we'll let you get on with your day.
I appreciate it, and I can't wait for Friday pick'ems.
Make some picks.
Yes, sir.
Titans legend Brett Kern hanging out with us. Brian Callahan is next. The Tennessee Men's Clinic is here to help you like they've helped so many other guys across the last decade plus here in Middle Tennessee. They are your resource if you're having performance issues, and that happens to a lot of guys as you get up there in age, as your body starts to change. But it doesn't have to be inevitable, and that's what the Tennessee Men's Clinic is there to help you with. Since 2014, they've done that exact thing, and those aren't cookie-cutter solutions that they offer you. The Tennessee Men's Clinic is urology-based and staffed with multiple licensed providers who specialize in men's sexual health issues. They use proven treatments tailored to your specific situation. No one size fits all. Too many guys rely on pills that don't work or come with nasty side effects. There are better treatments. Sometimes it's a combination of treatments that finally unlock the results that you've been missing. So call them today at 615-208-9090. That's 615-208-9090, or book easily online at TennesseeMen'sClinic.com.
Welcome back. Broadcasting live from Two Rivers Ford in Mount Juliet. Titans head coach Brian Callahan set to meet with the media any minute now after a 33-19 loss to the Los Angeles Rams at Nissan Stadium. So the Titans are 0-2.
How is he not at the press conference yet?
Because he hasn't walked up there. Kirby says same way that you're not here at the start of multiple segments today. Titans are 0-2. Next two games are divisional opponents.
Yeah.
So there is
one home, one road.
Right. Colts and then at Texans. There's no quicker way to turn your fortunes around than to start to win your divisional games, but some trends would have to be reversed.
Go ahead and gaslight this fan base. Go ahead. I dare you.
What is wrong with you?
What is wrong with me?
So incapable.
What's wrong with them? Me?
You are so incapable of having a productive conversation when things get bad like this.
Because all they do is lose football games. What do you mean productive conversation?
So, yeah.
He is 3-16. Yeah, go ahead.
Some trends would have to be reversed for the Titans to win on Sunday.
Some trends would have to be reversed is crazy.
Am I wrong?
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. You're not wrong at all. But that is a delightfully sunny way to look at a 3-16 head coach of a bottom feeder football team. We will see what happens with the Tennessee Titans at home against the Indianapolis Colts. Obviously,
your gear?
What gear?
Your Colts gear.
Famously, yes. I don't know. They keep winning. I might bandwagon just to bother y'all. Go ahead and put me in that position. Somebody on YouTube says that I'm fed up with it. Yeah, it's bad football. Why wouldn't you be fed up with it? Now, that doesn't mean that they can't. I reserve the right to be proven wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like, there is nothing wrong with them showing us progress in some areas. But I'm not going to give them credit just because Cam Ward's good enough to make them look smarter than they actually are at different points. That and the special teams is what they deserve credit for. That's about it.
They're not a good football team.
Nope.
We knew that.
Sure.
Right? Like, we knew that.
But the one thing that they're supposed to be better at, that they spent their whole offseason on, they still suck at. In fact, they're the worst. Through two great games, they are the most penalized team in football, Lucas. What's more disappointing to you? In all seriousness, let's have a productive conversation instead of me just bitching. Offensive line or the penalties? What's more disappointing to you? Because I think it's the offensive line. Dan Moore is bad, or has been bad.
I think it's the penalties. The offensive line has not been – the offensive line, the standard, even as difficult as those first two opponents were, the standard was and should have been higher going in with year two under Bill Callahan, new parts and pieces, the money you're paying, the draft capital. But to not have your right tackle for, 5 of the first 8 quarters of the season,
that's reasonable.
And the fronts that they faced – they've both been very disappointing to start the season. Penalties, though, absolutely takes the cake over it. I've seen this stat's been going around about the offensive or the sack numbers that Cam Ward's been sacked 11 times in 2 games. And I saw that CBS said that is the most since the merger. And then Fox is saying, no, it's actually tied.
CBS got it wrong.
Okay.
CBS got it wrong.
Okay.
There's 4 other quarterbacks that have been sacked more through 2 games.
Okay, yeah. So Ben Arthur had the correct stat from NFL on Fox. NFL on CBS had it wrong. He's been sacked the 5th most, tied for the 5th most since 1970.
So you say that they're a bad football team, and I shouldn't be surprised. And you're right, I'm not. And I'm getting more irritated by the fact that we're 10 minutes late now for the press conference, 11 minutes late for the press conference. Of a 3-16 football program. But can I also say that they're a bad team that's poorly coached? Because that's how I feel about it. I don't think that's an unfair characterization, especially when the answer is we can't figure out what the disconnect is with the penalties. And it's just as simple as stop doing it. I think those are fair criticisms today, even if I strongly, vehemently disagree with firing a coach in the middle of the season after 2 games is nonsense. You write it out. That doesn't help Cam. The only thing that matters is helping Cam Ward. I have no idea how they're going to correct some of the things that they spent all of their time this offseason trying to correct, but still haven't been able to do that. Because now we're in the season. Now we're in the thick of it. Like, you got the Colts in 6 days. where is the disconnect just all of a sudden going to become fixed in 6 days as we continue to roll through an NFL season? Of course not.
Yeah, like so many things would have to change. The penalties would have to stop. They'd be able to figure out a way to protect the quarterback. We'll see what J.C. Latham's situation is with the hip injury. It didn't feel encouraging last week.
That he's not on injured reserve is a positive.
Yeah, it is. So I guess that means that there is at least an idea that he could make it back within the next 4 games. But, yeah, that's the only point. Like, they're 0-2, just like we all expected them to be.
Sure.
All of us, every single person expected them to be 0-2.
Yes.
So I do tend to understand Titans fans that are getting frustrated at the discourse, acting like it's this big, shocking thing. Quickest way to turn that around is to win your divisional games.
Yep.
But the Colts look fantastic through 2 games.
They haven't punted in an NFL game.
They couldn't be trending in more different directions going into week 3 for what is a big opportunity at home against the Colts. Every game's a big opportunity for Brian Callahan to show something that this team hasn't shown since the beginning of last year.
Sure, but I mean, Lucas, we're 2 weeks in and it feels like dead man walking type stuff. And I don't know how he changes that narrative. If the answers at the press conference are, I don't know, but we're working like hell to fix it. 6-1. I mean, do we take phone calls while we wait? We're 15 minutes now. We're almost 15 minutes now late for this press conference. So I don't know. I'm annoyed clearly, but whatever. We'll see how much of the press conference we're able to carry. If it bleeds into Blaine and Zach, maybe they'll just want to start their show off with the press conference. 615-737-1045 is the number if you would like to interact. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch is also where you can get involved as well. I think that on the whole, though, the Cam Ward experience is going to give them a chance in every game. That's why I'm really frustrated by the penalties, because they could have had a chance against the Rams. And I'm not like Cam Ward also contributed to the loss, right? The strip sack is bad, and he missed some opportunities that were open for him yesterday. But I think on the whole, like, he is enough to keep them in games. It's just they have to do enough around him. And I mean, the Jeff Simmons quote yesterday that really, I think, crystallized what this thing is. He said that when they took the lead into the locker room, the vibe was, let's go win this game. And then Jeff simply said, yeah, that didn't happen. I don't know, like, how people are going to hyperfixate on halftime adjustments or what this team does in the second half or what this team doesn't do in the second half realistically. Apparently Brian Callahan is up at the podium. We will go live to it when Jackson is ready. Let's go live to Brian Callahan. I'll stop complaining.
Opportunity to go toe-to-toe for 3 quarters and got to find a way to finish the game better in all 3 phases, I think, at the end of the day, to put ourselves in position to win. But a lot of good things to coach off of, to work off of. Got a really good Indianapolis team coming in here, a divisional game at home. So got to get our attention focused on them real quick and get the things fixed we got to get fixed this week and keep pushing forward. So I'll let you guys go ahead.
Brian, at some point, pressure building to break through and get a win. I know that this is a new season, but there's a skid now that's going back to last season. And with this being the second home game, then you go on the road for 3 days or 3 games, excuse me. How much does that mean? Just get a win right now.
Yeah, our urgency is high to get a win. That hasn't changed. It's been a high for 2 weeks now. I mean, it's not for lack of urgency or lack of intent. Certainly would love to get a win so our players can feel that feeling and we can get ourselves on the right track. Those are things that we're all working hard towards. I don't, it's just one of those things that when you've lost the amount of games that we have over the time that we've done it, you're searching for that feeling and searching for that performance that allows you to go win a game. And thus far through 2 games, a lot of good things, but ultimately not enough to win them. And we got to find a way to go win a game at the end of the day. And that's always going to be our goal, and our urgency is incredibly high to go do that.
When you watch Cam back again today, what did you like? Maybe what are some things he still needs to keep improving at?
Yeah, he sees the field really, really well. That part has been really encouraging. I think we had 1 or 2 missed opportunities that you can't miss in a game like that. That we had a chance to generate something explosive potentially. I thought that he was better with his footwork and with his progressions this week than he was the week before. I think he gets better every time he walks on the field, and that's really good to see. The biggest thing for him is the ball security portion. It's just trying to keep two hands on the ball, moving through the pocket. That's a thing that all young quarterbacks got to get used to. There's arms and bodies and people all raking at that ball at a really high rate, and we got to do a better job securing it in the pocket. But there was a lot of really great things from Cam. Some of the throws, the location, some of those balls to Ellick down the sideline. There was some really, really good stuff from the game that I'm incredibly encouraged by. And again, you stack another week of practice and another game, and you like to see it continue to get better. And I think we will.
If he's seeing the field that well, what's the disconnect with the completion percentage, which is not?
Well, I think first and foremost, we've had some drops. I think we can all agree with that. That affects it a pretty good amount. And then we've had a couple of potential, aggressive plays that he saw well and put the ball in the air, and we got to go make those plays. And then he's it's not perfection. I mean, he's missed some throws too that we like to have. So, but I think in totality, where he's at and what he's done is something that I'm very encouraged by. I'm excited by, and I think for a young player in his first two starts against two really good defenses, I think there's some really good stuff to take away.
Seemed like at least a few times he passed on Lockett, who was pretty open, shorter, to go more aggressively for something more complicated, more difficult, deeper. What's the counsel there after the fact?
Just awareness of the play and of the coverage structure, just understanding that he's a bit of a hunter. He likes to go looking for big plays, and I think that's pretty normal for some of these guys coming out of college these days. That's how they play at that level. And it's different because the rushes are different and the caliber of coverage player is different. But at this level, you have to be a little bit more strategic in when and where and how. And those are things that he's learning. There's answers baked into a lot of plays for the quicker throw, for a man coverage beater. It doesn't necessarily always have to be down the field. And those are things that Cam is learning every time he goes out there. But those some opportunities that are good teachable moments for him when it comes to understanding the structure of the play and where his answers are versus particular coverages.
Dating back to last year, you guys have been outscored.
I'll come back, Terry.
Well, it was on the same subject.
Go ahead, Terry.
When you talk about the yards per attempt, it's pretty low. You attribute that.
What's
more,
the yards per attempt? Just like I don't know what it is.
4.7, I think. Do you attribute that more to the incompletions, or do you attribute that more to taking the shorter routes or things like that? What do you think factors into that?
I'm not sure, to be honest. I don't know enough about that number to really dive into it, but I think we've had plenty of opportunities to go down the field. He's taken a few of them. He's done a good job of managing some shorter throws. That's all a part of it. You still have to be able to, when you get playing with a backup tackle, and you're trying to manage that process as well. So there's some things that go hand in hand. There's probably some run solution throws that we've kicked out that haven't gotten, they're behind the line of scrimmage type throws that don't get a ton of yards. So I'm sure there's a combination of a bunch of different things. I wouldn't necessarily attribute it to anything that he's doing or not doing at the moment through two games.
Dating back to last year, you guys have been outscored in the fourth quarter, 80, 90 points. I know yesterday you said you're going to take a hard look at the adjustments and all of that, and if you found anything, feel free to share. But you've been in the league a long time. Just generally speaking, when teams have a problem finishing, what's the common thread there?
That's a layered question. There's a lot you can probably go, a lot of directions you can take that. I do think we've been in both the games, with time late in the third, early in the fourth, like every good game in the NFL is. They're all within a score as you approach the fourth quarter, most of them, and there's a lot of things I think that go into it. It's hard to necessarily pin it all down on one particular thing, but we haven't played well enough in the fourth quarter, and have to find a way to continue to play a little bit better, a little bit longer than we have at the moment. And that comes in, there's coaching involved in that. There's execution involved in that. Those things all have to find a way to improve, and haven't done it yet, and we have to find a way to do it.
Do you think the idea of in-game adjustments or the criticism of you guys' inability to do that is fair or overblown?
I mean, I think I've kind of jumped down this road before with what that looks like. I mean, those adjustments are ongoing. It's constant. Very rarely. I mean, halftime feels like it's about 5 minutes long by the time you get in there and make any adjustments that you haven't made yet. Really, we're adjusting in between every series. We're going through the looks that we got the series before, what the next calls are that are coming up, where we want to head, what direction, how they're playing us, how do we counteract it. Those things are sort of ongoing conversations. I've always been a huge believer in this halftime thing. It's very much overblown in terms of what you can accomplish in that short amount of time that you don't already accomplish in the conversations in between series. I mean, that's really where the adjustments happen, is in between series. They're a lot more immediate than waiting for halftime to make an adjustment, I think. So anytime you don't perform in those moments, though, you're open for criticism, and I understand that. So, but I would say that it's not necessarily a halftime adjustment thing. That's constantly happening throughout the course of the game.
With Ward and the game-to-game improvements that you touched on, like, what would you say is the next step of improvement for him, and how much will that tie into things opening it up a little bit more for him as far as attempts and things like that?
I think some of the commitment to trying to run the ball is the defenses we were playing. That's part of it. That's how do you keep the defense from teeing off? Well, you try to stay in manageable spots, and we've put ourselves in some tough third downs, I think, over the course of these two games, on a first down sack or a penalty or things of that nature. But really, how do you play teams that can rush the passer? Is you got to be able to run the football, and you got to put yourself in more manageable spots on third down in particular. The old stay on schedule adage. I think the Rams were a really good example of that yesterday. I mean, they put themselves in, I think, 3rd and 5 or less quite a bit during that game. It doesn't allow you to get your pressure packages up. It's harder to rush the quarterback. The ball comes out faster. All of those things factor in when you're trying to maintain some rhythm and some balance. And for the first 2 weeks, we've tried to do that. And to say Cam's going to go out there and we're going to throw the ball 45 times a game at the moment, I don't know that that's accurate or smart to do in that case. Certainly, if it was necessity and we had to, then so be it. But I just think you still want to have some semblance of balance. You want to run the football well, which I thought we did run the football well yesterday. I thought Tony Pollard had a really nice game. And that's how you help your line, too, is you keep it balanced and you work your actions off of it. I thought we got a ton of production out of our movement game yesterday. Some of the play action and keepers that were off of that stuff that we put on tape. So it's still an evolving process, and he's getting better and doing things from a footwork perspective and a timing perspective. Every time he's been out, he's gotten better at it. I think that'll continue.
11 sacks in the first 2 games.
So Brian Callahan's press conference is going to continue. Blaine and Zach will react to that coming up next. That's going to do it for us today. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Two Rivers Ford going to keep the food drive going through the afternoon through September 30th. Again, 615-889-9215 is where you can call them to find out how to get involved. See you tomorrow. Let's face it, buying a vehicle should be straightforward and stress-free, and that's exactly how Two Rivers Ford has been doing business for decades. This locally owned dealership has a non-commissioned sales team whose only focus is to find you the right vehicle at the right price without the pressure. So you'll actually have a fun car buying experience. Great prices, easy financing, and a non-commissioned sales team. Two Rivers Ford, the South's most trusted Ford dealer.